muzzle on him with a slight grin. Picks apart the cases where the truth's been thin. Sharp tongue firing like a rebel's hymn. Justice served with a snarky spin. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Coffee's cold but the witch stays hot. Poking at the holes in the legal plot. With a tilt of the glass he connects the dots. The courtroom's wild and he calls the shots. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Electric strums echo through the air. Justice tangled in a legal snare. With a grin, he tears it bare. No nonsense talk for those who care.
Hello, folks. Welcome to today's Aiden Kearney Turtleboy hearing. I am currently waiting for both Andrea and Mike. I told them up until about an hour ago I'm on at 2. Then I changed my mind 1:45. So they will join. I had a definite from Andrea. I have a definite from Mike. And or via X, I know that because where's the damn stream? And Mike said, use mine. All right. So use Mike, and then Mike will join here. Also, maybe a couple of others that isn't in the thumbnail. But since there's no guarantee, it will be a surprise. It will be a surprise when it happens. Now, yeah, Aiden Kearney has hit. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names here. I'm not American. I'm doing my best here. Now, less than an hour ago, we found out that Yuri Buchanan got rehomed. He is now in sorry folks, I may or may not use language you won't hear on other channels. Okay. Well, I had it here. He is transferred to the Jesus Christ, I had it here not that long ago. The Department of State Police Personnel training department of some sort. And I can only assume he's going to sit at a desk with a pointy hat and people pointing at him and saying, don't do what he does. He tried to frame a woman and he's screwing up the Brian Walsh case. And yeah, so that one, Today's course is don't be Yuri Buchanan. Can everybody say, yes, I will not be Yuri Buchanan? Yes, I will not be Yuri Buchanan. Approved. I assume that is what's going to happen because I can see no other options. Hi, Horse Welfare. Why are there no super chat options? I took that off today because of what is down here. Down here. CashApp, Uncle Turtleboy, and the link to the Gives and Go. This is a stream that is about funding Aiden's defense. So that if you have seen me before, it's probably because you have seen me doing the Wheel of Regrets, doing a fundraiser for some appeals fund, expert fund, or something of the sort. Is there a Venmo option? These are the two only I found. His Cash App and his GoFundMe. If he has a Venmo, I can't find it. I can find it. Oh, and by the way, Aiden doesn't know. He has no clue I'm doing this. I talked to him before the weekend and asked, hey, how are you doing? Do you need any help? He said, yeah, and then just over DMs and stuff like that. And then I decided, hey, let's fill up. While he is in court and can't do anything about it, let's fill up Aiden's phone with Cash App notifications. How about that? And also the Gives and Go. Let's see here. It is currently $6,005 away from his goal. So if we get there, we get there. If we don't, we will get some. We will get somewhere. At least having fun at him once he opened his phone after the hearing and say, "Why am I having so many notifications? Who did this?" So if you do Cash App, write in "Nick made me do it" or something of the sort. Let's have fun with it. Now, where were we? Yuri Buchanan. Now, when I heard this, I couldn't stop myself. One of my favorite things on my channel is I use one of these AI songwriting apps. And this is the result.
Saw you in the courtroom glow. Swore on truth, but the lies still show. Evidence missing like a ghostly dance. Now reassigned with a guilty glance. Oh, Sergeant, what did you do? Hide in shadows where the light breaks through. Deleting secrets like the midnight tide. Now you're gone with no place to hide. The judge looked down with a heavy frown. Side of Yuri's words spinning round and round. Tales of justice, but the truth got blurred. Lost in the echo of the lies he stirred. Ooh, the walls are talking. Footsteps silent, but the whispers walking. Side Yuri caught in twisted scheme. Truth fell apart like a broken dream. Oh, Sergeant Yuri, what did you do? Hide in shadows where the light breaks through. Deleting secrets like the midnight tide. Now you're gone with no place to hide. Now the badge feels heavy on his chest. Once a hero, now just second best. Reassigned to a place far away, but the past keeps calling every day. it's like the midnight tide. Now you're gone with no place to hide.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. Oh, yeah. This is something I do with the trials and cases I cover, especially if there is something really, really bad going on. I ask Suno.com, hey, here's the facts. Make me a song in that style, and stuff show up. Me, myself, I can't sing for the life of me. I can hold all the tunes at the same time. That's about it. But yeah, okay. Let's see. It is getting close now to when the Young Jerks is up with the. Okay, let's pull that. Dun dun dun. Full volume. Dun 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 dun. There. Dave, that is very nice of you, but today is all about Aiden Kearney and getting CashApp and his gives and go. Let me just link it. Oh, there it is. Link to gives and go. You also have the links in the description below. Let's see here. So now all we have to do is wait. And now Fridays are usually my, if you really want to. I mean, I'm not stupid. So Fridays are my slightly bust Friday law show, and there I have the Wheel of Regrets up, and you pay me to make a fool of myself. If you've never seen the Wheel of Regrets, it looks like this, with hot sauces and alcohol. So that's the entertainment. While I read a case, while I find some fun clips about something idiotic in, for example, Judge Simpson's court or something like that. That's Fridays. Yeah, maybe a few hours of pure fun. Let's make law fun for once in a while. So that is what happens on Fridays. And let's see. Let's go back to this. And here's somebody most of you have been waiting for, because evidently I'm not enough. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Oh,
How's life treating you?
it's okay. I must say it's really okay. It's really okay.
Yeah.
I'm a bit envious of you because I saw the pictures you posted.
I had a fun getaway. It was pretty awesome. Hey, I gotta ask you, how long are your days right now? Like, when does the sun come up and go down?
Oh, right now? I mean, I have to check, but I'm in the south of Sweden, which is Canada, something of the sort.
Uh-huh. Well, Canada's kind of big, you know.
Yeah, but we are very long.
Like Ian Canada or like Yukon Canada?
Let's see here. Sun goes up today. when 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's I have my, what do you call it? Very, very dark curtains. I think Aiden said, they only have room for 90 to 100 people in the courtroom. We can tell. We can tell.
Yeah, seriously.
We don't need all the volume for now. Let's see here. How's the gives and go?
I always like how, when they set up the courtroom audio, they find like a fish tank that they can put the microphone like directly behind.
Yeah.
It really helps.
Let's see here. From the start of the stream, the gives and go started at $6,005 to Aiden's goal. It is now 5,850, so a couple of $100 in. That's
nice.
Good. And you have the links in the scrolling banner to his CashApp. And
McCray, are you ready?
it's
do we have a Spanish
gives and
interpreter?
go, not GoFundMe.
They need a Spanish interpreter. Is this a whole docket that they're having today, or?
Okay, he's coming out any second.
We only have one still, one still. I'm gonna let them know, only one still, one still.
You can have more than one still.
Either that or Aiden is
He's allowed to
keeping
film.
a secret.
Afternoon.
Who you?
Good. I'm just trying to find two people. Oh, we do have a Spanish interpreter. Are the parties ready on the 58A of Zepeda?
Good afternoon. How you doing, Mr. Doucette?
Very good, Your Honor.
Yeah, they just got
Good, nice
multiple
to see you.
cases on.
She's a
How are you?
V303 intern who
Great.
will assist, who also fluent in Spanish, but we did order a Spanish interpreter.
And Madam Interpreter is present.
okay.
15 on
I have about a
58A
10-hour
of
drive to the
Albert
midnight sun.
Zepeda,
So, I mean, I could
Sepulveda. I
make
apologize
it,
for that pronunciation. He is in custody.
I've
Will
seen
be brought
it.
in momentarily.
What number is this? 15?
Number 15.
Okay. Hi, Mr. McCray. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
The parties, Madam Interpreter, have you been sworn today? Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Oh.
Thank you. If the parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Keith McCray for the Commonwealth.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Francis Doucette.
Mike is tuning in. That's not me doing anything.
Intern Bianca Yeager.
Can I see the papers?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Bianca Yeager, 303 from BU.
Nice to see
you. Is there more for the district court record?
Yeah. You don't have probation, I don't think.
She was just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a pooled stream as well, so let's see here. Yeah, same over at Justice Served.
Buenas tardes, yo voy a ser su intérprete.
Oh, you heard about Buchanan, his transfer?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I got rehomed.
Yeah, he's rehomed to the training facility or training.
Isn't that a little bit of a nightmare? The Standards and Practices Division or something like that. This is the guy we want running field training. Is that what they do?
Yeah, I reckon he's there as an exhibit.
Yeah,
Don't be him.
Yeah,
I got it.
where
I
you
just
don't want to
read
be
it.
assigned at this stage in your career.
Yeah, I mean, he goes from DA's
McCray, tell me
office,
about the
all
case.
the murder cases,
Got 90
to,
grams of coke
hey,
and supposedly
take care
a
of
warrant from
rookies.
California.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. And in addition to that, the Quincy Drug Control Unit was setting up surveillance. They noticed that this particular meeting happened in the parking lot of Father Bill's, which is a shelter in Quincy. And once they were one thing that the Quincy DCU does whenever they can
Yes,
is when
he
they
will
see
be
a
the
deal like
solo
this, when the
prop
parties
expert.
separate, one group follows the purported buyer, one group follows the purported seller.
Yeah.
They did get confirmation from the buyer as to what he bought and how much he paid, and after that, the defendant was stopped. There was a canine alert to his crotch area. However, there was no drugs recovered from his person. However, there was drugs found underneath the I believe underneath
a
the passenger
canine who
car, and
reacted to
also,
something, but
there was
not
discovery in the
drugs.
search of the
That's not
vehicle, there
uncommon.
Yeah, in the wrong place.
and that's
Yeah.
but inside the sock was
It was a very, very
Drugs are there somewhere.
About the California
Since
warrant.
Whatever it was.
2025.
What?
At this
Yeah.
point, I don't
Hey,
know, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Dog Handler, why
The
is
police
your
report
dog
indicates
addicted to
that,
crotch
that
areas?
a agent from Homeland Security reached out to the Quincy Police saying that there was a warrant for trafficking out of California.
As I warned my audience a bit
I
earlier,
checked with,
the
with the drug control unit
words
today
I use and
to
the
ask them if
snark I
they
use
received
may
the
not
warrant.
be heard on
They said
other
they never got the
channels.
warrant from HSI. I tried to
I don't
reach out
think
to
it was Chloe,
HSI
no.
today as well, but I did not hear any response from
Okay.
that.
Anything
But
else
I
you
do
want
know, based on the review of his III, at the
Hey,
very
thank
least,
you, Glarer.
there's there was a removable alien charge against him stemming from 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, complicated
Mr.
situation this guy's having. This poor guy.
You want to be total fiction, Your Honor. I will let Ms. Yeager continue with the,
Yeah, go right ahead.
sure.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Honor. When considering the factors in the statute, it is clear that the prosecution cannot possibly meet their burden in this case. As Your Honor very well knows, there's a presumption of innocence here in these types of cases, and there's a higher burden on the prosecution of proof for clear and convincing evidence.
Tell me a little bit about him. What does he do? Where does he live? What's his status? Tell me the whole thing.
Certainly, Your Honor. Mr. Zapata lives in the area. He has no prior criminal history record in Massachusetts or any other state.
Where does he live? Or who does he live with?
Mr. Zapata had been staying previously in Lynn, I believe.
Okay.
My apologies, Your Honor, in Mattapan. However, at 3 Orlando Street in Mattapan, and he has several family members in the area as well that he mentioned he'd be able to stay with if Your Honor were to release him today. As I was saying, Mr. Zapata has zero criminal history record in Massachusetts, any other state. We ran his III record, which came out completely blank. So as Attorney Doucette was mentioning, this charge from California seems to be entirely fiction. There is also no fugitive from justice complaint. None of that was ever brought forward. And as prosecution mentioned, there was no successful contact from HSI or Special Agent Fernandez following attempts to follow up. During the alleged incident, Mr. Zapata exhibited no violent nor dangerous behavior when he was apprehended. He cooperated with law enforcement, as is indicated in the police report, where it says he was arrested without incident. The only words that Mr. Zapata uttered was no English to indicate his limited knowledge of the language. Mr. Zapata had no weapons on him when he was apprehended. He made no attempt to flee. There was no threat of violence. Mr. Zapata also has zero history of mental illness or drug dependency, and there was no hint of any kind that he was under the influence of any substance on the day when he was arrested.
How much bail can he make?
I've spoken with Mr. Zapata. He says somewhere around $10,000 or so, if possible.
$20,000 cash bail.
Just double what he asked for.
Mr. Zapata
Surrender
also,
his passport within 24 hours of release.
We have a next date of July 17th for probable cause.
All right.
Quincy Court, Your Honor.
Sounds good. Thank you. Nice
thank
to
you,
see
Your Honor.
So, sir, after hearing, the court orders you to recognize in the sum of $20,000 cash with the following conditions. Surrender your passport within 24 hours of your release. Consent to that condition, sir?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You're hereby notified if you are charged with a crime during the period of your release, your bail in this matter may be revoked in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 276, Section 58. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Your Honor.
Nice to see you.
Coming
Mr. McCray, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good to be back.
Are we ready
Good to be back.
on the Kearney matters? Okay,
Here we go.
This one?
we're gonna do Mr. Kearney. So next before the court, number 6, 7, and 17. Number 6 and 7 are on for status. Number 17, which is 25 CR 88, is on for arraignment. Please come forward and identify yourselves for the record.
Yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Cosgrove for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of Aiden Kearney. To my left.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Kearney.
And Mark Federer for Mr. Kearney.
Hi, Mr. Bedwell. Good afternoon. Okay, let's arraign him on the new case.
Mr. Kearney, on May 13th of 2025, the grand jury sitting in the County of Norfolk returned indictment number 2582 CR 00088, charging you as follows. Offense 1, charging intimidation of a witness, and offense 2, charging intimidation of a witness. Do you wish to waive the formal reading of these indictments?
Yes.
How do you wish to plead to each of these indictments?
Not guilty.
Thank you, sir. Is there a question of bail?
There's no question of bail, but I would ask the court to impose the same conditions that were imposed in the Stoughton District Court. And Mr. Bradle, correct me if my memory is wrong. I believe it was no contact with the alleged victim and stay 100 yards away from his place of work and residence.
And what are the allegations on these, on this one?
Intimidation of a witness, Your Honor.
Yeah, but what's the nature of
What?
it?
This was the appearance
Window?
outside.
Oh, outside the, waving in the pizza shop. Yeah, I remember. All right, that's,
Judge, that's
Waving
agreed
at
under
the
section
pizza.
80.
yeah, that's fine.
That's right,
All right.
Judge.
I'll
That's
impose
right.
that, Margaret.
This
Thank
is
you.
waving at the pizza
Would you
shop.
do that now or wait till the end?
Why don't you do that now? Just do them one at a
The
time.
court recognizes you personally without surety with the following conditions. You are to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim in this case. You are to stay away, have no contact, stay away 100 yards from the residence
the
and the
window?
place of work of the complainant. Do you consent to those conditions, sir?
Yes.
And you're
Okay.
hereby notified if you're charged with a crime during the period of your release, the bail in this matter may be revoked in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 276, Section 15. Thank you.
All right, what else are we gonna do?
Judge, if I may jump in right there, just for the record, we filed 2 arraignment-related motions, Your Honor.
Okay,
Obviously, we can push those to another day with 2 small exceptions of just an order to preserve notes of investigators and to preserve video, if I may, Your Honor. I don't believe there's an objection.
okay. Yeah, those are both ordered. So
Thank
we saw the Commonwealth's ordered to preserve notes of investigators and to preserve video. What else can I do for you?
For me or?
Why don't I start with you, Mr. Cosgrove? Go right ahead.
All right. So Your Honor, answered a discovery order the last time we were here. I made substantial progress on it. I can't say I fully complied with it, but I have about, let's see, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 or 6,000 pages of discovery to provide Mr. Bradle today. And I had planned, Your Honor, to file that with a motion for a protective order, which I had.
Oh, yeah, they are doubling down.
A couple of days from the one I gave you.
Thank you.
And we have been going along with these, essentially tracking protective orders in the Karen Reed case, and in fact,
Which is over.
much of the material.
Doesn't matter now,
duplicates of
does
the
it?
Discovery turned over in the Karen Reed case, and I pretty much follow their form protective order. These have all been allowed with the agreement of the defendant and without prejudice.
Okay.
I understand that Mr. Bradle wishes to bring that practice to an end as of today. I'm in a somewhat different position.
All right, let me hear from Mr. Bradle. Mr. Bradle,
Thank you, Your Honor.
give me your argument.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Judge, the Karen Reed case is over with. It's moot. It's gone. Okay.
That's
And
right.
My filing, Judge, entitled Aiden Kearney's motion to release case documents from impoundment is what we're talking about here, Your Honor. So I asked the court last time, and we had so much business on the docket last time, I don't think we circled back on it. But I was asking to just release everything from impoundment, Your Honor. The fact that things are embarrassing or scandalous or cause negative light to be cast upon public officials, Your Honor, is not a reason to impound documents. It's
Correct.
actually a reason to release documents.
That's
And that's
right.
really all the Commonwealth has left on the existing stuff, is that, you know, gee, this might make investigators look bad. This might make special prosecutors present company accepted look bad. This might, cause election shifts, and that's not a reason to impound things, Your Honor. And initially, we have sort of taken the candy from the Commonwealth, and when they say, we'll give you the stuff, but just agree to this protective order. So we want the stuff, but at some point we have to get off of that train, Your Honor. This is a case of immense public interest. This is a case of, First Amendment issues, and I know we may disagree on that, but that's what our adversary system is for, and that's okay. And I think every case that eventually gets to the SJC or the Supreme Court starts with a trial judge maybe not agreeing with you, so that's okay. And, that's what we have here. But in any event, Your Honor, I think we can agree that this case brings to the fore really important issues about what is witness intimidation, what is journalism, where does the First Amendment fit in? And, these text messages about, and I'm trying to not speak of them in open court, but we all know what they say, and we all know that there's a public interest in shining some sunlight on these things. So we're not asking to, publish someone's address or someone's phone number. We're asking for the content of these communications that these folks have issued between and among each other. And the content of them per se has no persuasive power to make you want to impound them.
Let me ask Mr. Cosgrove, what interest at the moment does impoundment serve?
Your Honor, I've just been handed 20 minutes ago a fairly extensive motion suggesting that I have all kinds of various burdens to justify impoundment and citing a lot of case law. I would like an opportunity to file a review.
Yeah, I'd give you that. Was a week enough?
I'd like a little more than that.
About 2 weeks.
All right.
There you go. I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll take it under advisement. And if you want to file anything else, Mr. Bradle, Mr. Bettero, you absolutely have every opportunity.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And
now, Your Honor, with respect to the items that I was going to turn over today.
So I'll allow the motion. Mr. Bradle, I'm up here.
Sorry, Your Honor.
It's all right.
I thought I had a minute.
That's fine. You got to talk to your client. You got to talk to Mr. Bettero. My point is this. If you want the stuff today, I'll allow it without prejudice.
Sure.
And then I'll see what you have to say and what Mr. Cosgrove.
We have to take the candy.
That's fine.
All right. Please note our objection, but thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I will allow Mr. Cosgrove's motion without prejudice, and I'll take any submissions that you have, and I'll give you a final answer probably in about 3 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Does that make sense? Okay.
And then, Judge, just to shift gears a little bit, there's some outstanding discovery that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I want to start off. I know that the court's time can be much better spent in discovery disputes. So we talked about the idea that we would go to the DA's office, and to the extent there's items that the government says they've given us that we can't open up or figure out.
Yeah.
I think we're going to agree to go in person with our people and figure it out. So
yeah, sure.
That's the first thing I want to say. But then, in addition, Your Honor, there's this inventory that I filed. It's entitled Inventory of Outstanding Items in Connection with Our Third Motion to Compel.
Okay.
There's about 10 things, Your Honor, and I think, unfortunately, that the government ought to go through and answer to us today about what the status of these things is. And we've been kind of going back and forth about these things for a long time.
Seems reasonable.
Back, Your Honor, and my first discovery request was February of 24. And second and third, were the months following. And in fairness, counsel for the Commonwealth was not the prosecutor of record at the time, but the rules are the rules, and we need this stuff, and it's gone on way too long. So these are the 10 things that I think are very important, maybe 9.
Mr. Cosgrove, might you want to take that 2 weeks and respond to all of those?
Could you give me an extra week, Your Honor?
An extra week.
An extra week? Oh my God,
It is, Mr. Bradle makes it very.
You had 2 years.
As we all know, I think that
Battling
it's
with
important that the
another
discovery
week
be turned over. So that we
over
can
something from February of last year.
trial to the case.
I don't disagree with Your Honor. Notwithstanding
this is
that
your
Mr. Bradle
stalling.
has some complaints, and some of them may well be legitimate, there has been a substantial amount of discovery turned over in this case.
Yeah. If you turn over 5,000 pages today, it's a lot of discovery.
We appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay, great.
Thank you. And Attorney Better has a number of items as well, Judge.
Mr. Betterow.
Thank you, Judge. Just going back briefly to some of the issues about impoundment.
Yeah.
There are some items that are currently under impoundment, which we believe ought to be released from impoundment, specifically messages from Michael Proctor and a civilian witness. Those messages were cited in our motion to dismiss. As the court is no doubt aware, Michael Proctor is terminated from the state police. He has been a matter of public interest with his involvement in both the Karen Reed case, which led to Mr. Kearney's interest and ultimately, on some level, his indictment in this case. But also, those messages were impounded ostensibly for privacy interests, security interests, those sorts of things. Recently, Michael Proctor has been on a press tour on ABC News and NBC News, vigorously defending his investigative conduct. The messages that are at issue here, which are impounded, the public is entitled to see that. There is certainly a presumption of public access to those files. Michael Proctor has surrendered any privacy interest he has by addressing those issues, as has, the other civilian that we're talking about, who also recently appeared on national news with other members of her family defending her and her family's conduct in this case. Those messages should be publicly available. If there's going to be information that's in the public realm, there's no reason why information that the prosecution wanted concealed from public view should be concealed any further. If the court likes, we can approach and show you the messages. I would suggest they are relatively straightforward, and there's no reason for those to be impounded at this time.
Okay. Anything you want to say to that, Mr. Cosgrove? I'm not going to give you another week.
Well, I would suggest it would make sense to take this up when we take up the other matter.
I think that makes sense too.
Yeah, I won't ask for another week. I won't ask for another day.
That's, why don't I do this? Why don't you all come up to sidebar? Let me take a look at what you need.
Oh, my Lord.
I interpret this that the judge is a bit fed up with this case.
Well, he is, but he's going to keep kicking it down the road. I mean, that's how he's been trained, and that's clearly Cosgrove's game.
Yeah. I mean, everything here from the start is stall it. Maybe Aiden will screw up again. Maybe he will do something actual illegal this time.
Look, if you can't even prepare to account for the status of discovery that was requested from you a year and a half ago, it's pretty clear you're not in any rush to get this thing done.
Yeah. I'm trying to get 6,000 pages of discovery. I mean,
he's talking about that. He's waving that around like it's some great accomplishment, and it's like, dude, why didn't you? That's a lot to be handing over a year and a half later.
Yeah, and but the case being, I mean, is it 5,000 pages of texts and then 1,000? Yeah,
sure.
So, I can't wait for that to be released. Let's just say that, from Proctor to Jen McCabe.
Sounds like Proctor and Jen, doesn't it? Who else could it be? Proctor and Nicole?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I mean, that would be gold. I mean, I wouldn't mind at all. I mean, Baker says it, the grift must go on, and but yeah, but it's like the rubber ducks that Buchanan spent. What was it? 3 months full time to investigate.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of effort they put into these investigations relative to what they put into John O'Keefe, it's appalling. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, but it shows that they can if they want to.
I know.
You go back. Mr. Betterow, the floor is yours. What else?
Thank you. Judge, one outstanding issue relates to the second of the 3 indictments that relates to Lindsay Gaetani. We moved and were granted a hearing to disqualify Mr. Mello from prosecuting that case because he is an essential witness in that matter. That issue was decided in September of 2024. A hearing was ordered in January of 2025. For reasons which the court is familiar with, that hearing has been put off. Nevertheless, we're looking to move this forward, and the issue is not resolved, and we're led to believe that Mr. Mello will not voluntarily withdraw. For whatever reason, we need to do this hearing. We believe that he's going to be a defense witness in this case. We're getting discovery between him and another civilian witness today, which I think is going to further that application and very likely make him even more a prosecution witness. And we just can't kick this can down the road for close to a year. So we would like to schedule a date for Mr. Mello to either appear, be examined under oath, explain the consequences, which the court, again, is probably familiar with. He was contacted by the complainant during the alleged crime repeatedly, 4 or 5 times over the course of that day. Instead of the police being called, he was an ear witness to these allegations.
Ear witness.
Respectfully, he needs to come in here, answer these questions so the court can issue a decision as to whether he's going to be allowed to continue or whether we can go through the process of subpoenaing him and any other items that might be of assistance to us with calling him as a witness.
Mr. Cosgrove.
Can I inquire if Mr. Mello is online?
I do not see him. Attorney Mello, last time he did use his name, there is no one with his name on there this time.
So he doesn't have to be here?
Can I approach?
Of course, come on up.
Yeah. This has so many layers of corruption in it. It is ridiculous.
It is, but it's like trying to sprint through molasses, trying to get anything at all exposed or resolved.
Yeah. All they wanted was to shut Aidan up.
Yeah.
Bad call. That should have been very, very apparent that Aidan is not a person who, he doesn't even have I don't think he has the ability to shut up. I mean, now, does he sometimes walk close to the line? Sure, but that's journalism. If journalist doesn't walk close to the line, then why are you a journalist?
Well, it's just his style. Not everybody, is suited to a more provocative style of journalism, and that's what he does. And it's because of that style that, we've gotten a lot of good information and stories over the years. I mean,
yeah,
Watergate's sort of the classic.
Yeah, and we have the People versus Larry Flint. I mean, landmark case. Because no, that wasn't defamation, because what he wrote in his paper about you, nobody would believe.
Yeah, nobody would believe. It's clearly a ridiculous story.
Now, over here in Sweden, things took a turn for the worse. On July 2nd, we are no longer allowed to insult public officials.
Oh, wow.
Employed public officials.
And so what are the consequences if you do?
From fine to up to 6 months in jail.
Wow. Any public official at all, like street sweeper employed by the city versus?
Yeah, I mean, it's the language is cops, teachers, social workers, but they are not mentioned explicitly. It's civil servants. It's the broad spectrum.
You said one more thing.
Yes, Judge. Just as it relates to discovery, we have made a series of discovery demands from the prosecution ranging from October of 2024. As of this date, not including whatever was filed today, we have made 4 very thorough, detailed discovery demands sourced regarding contacts between a civilian named Catherine Peter and the state police and the district attorney's office regarding her very unique relationship in all matters involving Mr. Kearney. Those demands, which again are in the files, Mr. Cosgrove has them outlined in detail, her frequent contacts with the state police, with people that are prosecutors, statements that she has made under oath in court proceedings stating that she helps authorities get Mr. Kearney, voice recordings that she has left Mr. Kearney indicating that she provides information to them. So we have asked for any discovery related to Ms. Peter going on about a year. Now, today, for the first time, we are admittedly getting something that relates to her communications with Mr. Mello. I'll only note that all materials that relate to Ms. Peter and the prosecution were ordered by the court in early May to have been provided within 20 days. That didn't happen. We got stuff today. That's fine. But the real issue here is that in light of the change in Rule 14 from last March, the game is very different than it might have been before in terms of what the prosecution is obligated to do and what I don't believe they've done in this case, which is go to every member of the prosecution team, which is everyone in the district attorney's office, any of the state police who are involved in these matters, which includes Michael Proctor at the time, Yuri Buchanan, Lieutenant Tully, Fanning, there's a whole list of them. The Karen Reed prosecutors who are also covered, who got a little bit involved, as the court is aware, in Mr. Kearney's case and may or may not have had a relationship with her too. She has made statements allegedly indicating some involvement in that case. The rule requires the prosecution, whether they credit the information or not, to contact each individual that is on the prosecution team and make an inquiry and find out whether there is any material and disclose it. We don't think that that has happened. We respectfully submit that is something that Mr. Cosgrove has to do. In particular, I would draw the court's attention to testimony that was given by a member of the state police in February of 2024, which led to a wiretapping charge against Mr. Kearney, in which Fanning of the state police stated under oath that they received a recording, a 30-second recording from Catherine Peter, that it was given to Lieutenant Tully and then given to Fanning, and we have no evidence of that. We don't have a copy of the recording. We were given the wrong recording in that regard. We have no police reports. We have no communications. We have nothing. If they don't exist, they don't exist, but they're obligated to look for it, make the inquiry, and report back and say whether any of this exists or not. And the last thing I'll note on that point, under the new rule, it doesn't matter whether the prosecutor credits any of this, thinks it's nonsense, thinks it might be real. They're obligated to do it, and we simply ask respectfully that the court instruct the prosecution to do that and disclose whatever evidence ought to be disclosed, or make a statement on the record that there is nothing to disclose. And if that's the case, then we'll all live and die with the consequences of that statement.
Okay, Mr. Cosgrove.
It's largely been done.
Is that part of the 5,000 pages that you're turning over?
It is. Among the things turned over is the email from Catherine Peter to Brian Tully providing that 30-second clip.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. So that seems to solve that. You said that you had some things you wanted to bring up. Go right ahead.
Yes. So this will be an opportunity, Your Honor, for myself and Mr. Betterow to do an absolute 180 on our positions on disclosure of impounded documents. Your Honor will recall that the last time we were here, attached to a discovery motion was an affidavit.
Oh, yeah.
And at that time, it was initially filed provisionally without hearing from the Commonwealth, was impounded upon, I believe, not the affiant's representation, but I think Mr. Bradle's representation that the affiant was in fear that there would be some sort of retaliation by the Commonwealth. I think Your Honor will recall the fairly outrageous, if I can put it that way, representations that were made by the affiant. I believe now, as I moved at the time, that affidavit should either be stricken or that the impoundment order should be lifted. I don't believe an affiant should be allowed to accuse an assistant DA of jury tampering and the district attorney of having secret meetings with witnesses and all these other things, and then hide behind an impoundment order.
Okay. Let me hear from the other side. Mr. Betterer.
Yes, a couple things that I think ought to be corrected. The affiant is not alleging what happened. The affiant is alleging under oath that she was told by another individual who we were discussing earlier what happened. That's the first point. The second point is that document was attached as an exhibit to a discovery demand. Discovery demand number 4, alleging more reason to believe that there is an obligation for the prosecution to look into possible discovery that is in their possession, custody, or control. If that affidavit were to be stricken, that means literally nothing. They are still obligated to do whatever it is they had to do. And at the time that that motion was discovered until 20 minutes ago, absolutely nothing has been turned over regarding this person who brags about working for the authority. So I don't know the relevance of doing anything one way or the other with respect to the affidavit. Now, that person may very well have a privacy interest, because the day after that affidavit was filed, her apartment was essentially covered in personal information about herself that could have only come from someone with access to law enforcement. And almost certainly that individual was subjected to charges of witness tampering, which I believe were actually under investigation and may still very well be. I can't go farther than that. I don't know. Somebody, whoever did this, wrote snitch on her door. So I would suggest in this situation, impoundment of her name is more than appropriate.
Okay.
I'll just make 2 points in response. One, I don't think it's entirely true that the affiant was simply relying on recounting hearsay. If she was, that would say something about the credibility of the affidavit as well. But I seem to recall, Your Honor, that at least one point the affiant represented that she was present when Ms. Peter, I believe it was having a phone conversation with Hank Brennan, and that she, the affiant, recognized Hank Brennan's voice because she was familiar with it. So I don't think it was simply a matter of hearsay. The second thing I'd say is that the identity of this person is all over the internet, and was all over the internet at the time it was before you the other day. I don't know what the interest is, given those circumstances, in concealing it in the court papers.
Okay. Judge, I'm sorry, one.
And I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could I just add one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently these things that were affixed to her door in her apartment building, which is the same apartment building that Ms. Peters lives in.
They were what? They were not that bad?
The indication was made at the time. First of all, that event was publicized by Mr. Kearney on the internet with photographs of the door in question.
And?
I guess I would just question, Your Honor,
Was she asking for it, sir?
The source of those documents, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Just very quickly, Your Honor, in terms of this individual's name being on the internet, there are 2 reasons for that. The first is because Ms. Peter identified her publicly and led to this kind of harassment. The other reason, and this was no question a mistake, But Mr. Cosgrove mentioned her name accidentally, and no question, no malintent, but her name was stated in open court. And as you can see, people watch in court, online, and whatnot. So the fact that her name had been put out accidentally through no fault, with no malintent, is not a reason, I think, to just open up the affidavit to her name.
Okay, thank you all. So we have a date for, what was that, August? What was the date, Margaret?
August 13th for
August
discovery
13th.
compliance.
And then we'll pick a date for the other issue. Am I correct, Mr. Cosgrove?
Yeah.
Towards the end of the month?
Now, if you want to pick it on.
Why don't we pick it on the 13th? I think that makes sense.
All right, I may have some, I'm sorry, I should be standing.
That's okay.
I may have some information about,
That's fine.
the health status at that time.
All right. We'll see you all on August 13th.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.
One more, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I believe we have an agreement. Mr. Bradle has responded relative to the source code for accessing the search of the devices.
Yep.
And he's indicated there was the same source code previously provided Lieutenant Tully, and that he would supply it again if necessary. And I've indicated to him that that's appropriate, and I think he should supply it today. And I don't think there's a disagreement with that.
All right. You don't disagree with that, do you?
Sure.
Yeah, all right, good. I'll see you August 13th.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Another month down the road.
Well, another day of successfully achieving nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Prosecution keeps stalling.
Yep. More time. Buy more time.
We have any lobbies we could go?
Yeah, we're gonna take that. We'll take it across the street.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
that I'll check on that. I know I saw.
so there were a lot of, I mean, pre-trial hearings sometimes is, most of them is, let's pick new dates.
Yeah.
I mean, I recently started with the Brian Walsh case, and so far it's just, when are we meeting again?
Mm-hmm.
How to rearrange bail or bail conditions. And so far, that's a juicy case because it's the same investigators and the same people who looked into phones. The
Yeah.
exact same people. And the difference is,
For the court number 18, Como versus Lokeshwar.
we don't,
That's Kunta.
and the difference is, if the Google searches actually happened, we don't know. It seems to, Google searches in Canton, Mass, or around Boston area, it depends on the defendant if they are correct or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they are so screwing the Brian Walsh case up, because if he actually did it, if he's presumed innocent,
Mm-hmm.
they should throw everything out due to the warrantless search.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw briefly yes, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. Let's see. Is Aiden walking out now?
You should be. Is the sound on there? The video? I hope it is. Oh, she didn't turn it on. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I got two computers going right now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
About the Brian Walsh case, that's unnerving, but everything should be thrown out. And I saw the
They're going to make some bad law because they have to save it, because they aren't going to want to do that, and so they're going to have to, come up with some excuse for why these guys who can't seem to run a clean investigation, if it was their own mother's death or something like that.
But it seems like they're going with the route of not unavoidable, but in open sight. Because among these tens and thousands of entries in the Google searches, somewhere in there it was. And that's just plain stupid. If you have to, in plain sight, is you look at it and there it is. Not 2 hours later after scrolling for 2 hours. Now I found it. That's not plain sight. In my opinion, at least.
I mean, do they just not have a speedy trial requirement in Massachusetts? Like what gives? Why are we still a year and a half waiting for discovery? In Turtleboy's case, it's nuts. And see, and this to me, this is so routine. This is the cycle. Come back to court like every 3 weeks or so, or something like that. So you got to take your afternoon off. Like, who's supposed to be able to keep a job in this kind of legal environment? It's structured to keep people down, to keep people under the boot, and so forth.
I know they added that walked on you today. Yeah. Probably you don't think so. I know you missed it. How are you? Just a little bit about attorney Mel's and tell us on this case. Have you spoken to haven't spoken. Yeah, Brandon. I think it's kind of papered. Figured out the case. We're just going to call back at this point, we're just trying to get a hearing so we can, make our arguments that we've laid out.
Have you ever seen had your term started off that plus the case and is now witnesses? Obviously, based on communication, so it's this is a very interesting.
Wait. I've never had a case where a prosecutor got involved with the witnesses and became somebody that was going to have to be potentially testifying as a potential impeachment witness or a fact witness, getting calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, while my client's in the house. It is unprecedented.
What do you make of the judge's kind of jovial, laid back vibe today? He seems in a great mood. He laughed a lot. Can we interpret that as him not taking this seriously? How should we interpret this?
Judge Doolin is the best. You don't get any better. He's been around. He's walked the walk. He was in the DA's office, been a counselor forever. Wait, I noticed you took part of the hearing. Yeah. How'd that go for you? Was it worthwhile? Yeah. I know. Don't know what's happening. You can't talk about it. You can't talk about it. And you're like, how did they win? Are you comfortable with it? Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of stuff happening. Discovery, it's impoundment. We've had it for months and months and months, and we talk about it. It's in the public. This stuff there's just this cloud of secrecy that exists in North County. And do whatever they want. No one else gets to know except them. It's terrible. Anyone cares about it. Less yucking it up with Turtleboy. I know how it works. You got the judge, you the attorneys, they're together and a lot of stuff. You sitting there kind of monitoring it. Oh yeah, I mean, but just I can't just talk about what we guys do. Give me.
Sorry. And now we're with this. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the type of investigation piece, knowing that they now are exceptional?
Well, it's undeniable that it's yeah, he's still on all the else. That's ridiculous. I mean, why is it? You have to ask him. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to ask him. How did the day feel? They was fine. So, just as far as the Miller situation, there were issues, obviously, but the bottom line is never in 26 years have I ever seen a situation where an alleged victim of a crime called the prosecutor in the middle of the night or while the crime is happening instead of 911 for the police. Once that happened, he made himself a witness, and that's the way it is, and that has to be resolved. He's entitled to a fair trial. He's entitled to a trial without conflicts, and we're entitled to call someone who is a fact witness. And the fact that you have to see the prosecutor, as incredible as that is, it's not a basis to get a pass. We fully expect that we will have in this case of tensions and have him testify. I think it'll be able to.
How confident are you that you are going to receive all of the discovery that you've asked for in 3 weeks?
We'll have to wait and see. I take Mr. Costco at his word. He did jump on this late. Other people were involved beforehand, but we're entitled to what we're entitled to, and we're going to get it. And we'll continue to claim that we do. And again, that's the centerpiece of a fair trial. We're entitled to material. We want it. Don't give it to us. That's at your own peril.
At the of privacy kind of all gone out the window at this point. You talk
Michael Proctor is disgraced, corrupt, former state who was terminated for his conduct in the case that Kearney covered, and that same agency is the one who arrested him. There are communications which are impounded. I'm not going to get into them, that I think would shed a lot of light onto that. Now, as far as them being impounded for witness privacy issues, this man went on a press tour a few weeks ago and emphatically denied doing anything. We don't agree with that. But if you're going to put out piecemeal coverage publicly, trials are supposed to be fair, open, public access. The public ought to see exactly what he was saying and who he was saying it to before he was arrested and why that was. It's just public access and part of fair trial. That's all.
So who's the Commonwealth protecting him?
I'm not going to speculate on who they're protecting. They seek impoundment of virtually everything, which is the antithesis, again, of what a fair trial is. There should be a presumption of openness. There should be light, not darkness. But for whatever reason, in this county, in their high-profile cases, they seem to have a presumption of darkness. We don't accept that.
Shouldn't. Sounds like a lot of people having reasons to be embarrassed.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this has gone to lower. At this point, there's so many people involved in this. It's ridiculous. So everybody's protecting each other because it's embarrassing. Can you help with this? Of course,
Yeah.
it's just a small favor, and then it becomes, oh crap, what am I involved in?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a big circle of people owing each other small favors.
Yeah, and then 3 more weeks, and then now another 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 more weeks for the witnesses to hide out. I mean,
my lord,
we're seeing a ridiculous amount of witness intimidation and juror intimidation. People have noted and seen the juror intimidation, but there's also a lot of
the interviews are over, but now
witness intimidation going on right now. There's a ton of witness intimidation going on.
his life.
Mm-hmm. Of course there is. This is a Darvo prosecution.
Yep. And you heard about one of them today. the Jean from Dorchester, her affidavit came up. She's a friend of mine. I met her through calling in on the show. That was how she got involved in this, was listening to the show, my show, calling in, and then realizing she lived next to Kate Peters. She was like, holy shit. So that's how all this started with her. And the fact of it is, Cosgrove got up there and denied that it was Kate Peters that outed her. It was totally Kate Peters. I know this for a fact. And I know that Jean's been worried about it. Jean was trying to move out that weekend. She was hoping that Kate wouldn't find out until she got moved out. Like it was, so Cosgrove's totally being dishonest today. It was Kate Peters 100%. Bettero knows that too. So I thought it was interesting that that came up today. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Jean has in that affidavit to see what's backing it. Because I have a feeling she has a lot of evidence to back what she put in that affidavit.
Yeah. Something, I mean, how with the Ken Reed case, we know Aiden, with the rubber duckies, how many cases were lost in transit because they chose these three things to investigate?
I think it's pushing close to a dozen. Some of them weren't even filed. It's funny because which ones do you count? Like even the Canton Nine, they never really got indicted or anything. But there's been, I would say, dozens of people. I would say probably double digits, probably 20 plus people have been visited and harassed about it. And zero on their side, unless, like I said, the witnesses or the jurors go outside of Norfolk County. And this is what the jurors and the witnesses are realizing right now. Some of them is that they're going to their local police departments where they actually live. And a lot of times that's out. Sometimes, maybe not for the jurors, but some of these witnesses, they're outside of Norfolk County. So that's the only reason we know now that a witness intimidation charge was filed against Joseph Warren. He's one of the most vile people out there, racist, homophobic, and violent. He's got a violent criminal history if you look into it. And he got charges, it looks like, in Bristol County. So
you only need to see at the people who all of a sudden protected their social media accounts.
That's it, because they saw what was happening. They saw the witnesses weren't going to take it anymore, and they're filing charges. They definitely are filing charges against these people, and it should have. I mean, I don't like the witness intimidation stuff, but like the law, I think it's way too broad. But some of the stuff that they've been doing is way. I think it would be illegal no matter what the law was, So
sure.
Yeah, especially when they're going after jurors. I mean, again, what Brennan said in his, PR or whatever you call it. No, you're disappointed in the result. We did our best. Shut the fuck up, walk away, collect your $1 million.
Right.
I mean, that's all he had to do. And instead, hey, bro, please tweet for me. No. Bad call. Bad prosecutor. And I saw earlier, rubber ducky case. Yeah. According to Yuri Buchanan, yellow rubber duckies are extremely dangerous.
Yes.
Extremely
terrifying. Terrifying. If you're a 20-year-old strapping young lad, you might have to go like hide in your closet at night if you find a rubber ducky on the sidewalk. Imagine, guys. Do you want to live in that world? Do you want to live in that world?
And they it's like Al Qaeda. They pulled or
it's just like Al Qaeda.
Seriously, that's how they treated it. They followed this guy around. They surveilled him. They pulled cameras from telephone poles and other businesses, and I think like a religious institution. They transcribed the interview I did with him on a sidewalk. It was like 3 or 4 pages. I was very impressed by that. I was wondering how much time they spent watching my show, watching the live stream, the interview I did with that guy. So it's crazy the amount of time. How many pages was that? Like 27-page report the Canton police did on that rubber ducky that went nowhere.
Something ridiculous. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Did they do that for John O'Keefe? Did they do 27 pages? No.
No.
No, you get the little half pages that were written 6 months later about, oh yeah, I had this conversation with somebody way back when, thought maybe I should write it down.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, wait 600 days. That's that's about right to have it in fresh memory. Or in the Brian Walsh case, the week before the hearing, he wrote all the reports and backdated one. For fuck's sake!
Yeah.
And it's
someone
the
who killed their
same
wife.
cops.
Yeah.
It's the same cops all the time.
Yeah.
Now
I mean, that's the whole point, guys. That's the problem. It's like, see, it always stands out when you have the case like Karen Reed, because everyone can get behind it because you're like, she's innocent. So of course you don't want to bend the rules. Of course you don't want to mess things up. You don't want to be framing somebody with your terrible investigation. But guys, this is why we have the standards, because when you need them to be able to be applied, you need to be able to count on the people that are doing the investigation.
I mean,
you can't count on them for something that should be kind of let's be frank. I mean, the Brian Walsh case, it should be a layup. It should be a layup for us.
Yeah.
It should be easy.
And
he made it easy. It shouldn't even been a question. Like, he made it easy for them. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And now it's a good possibility they are throwing it away.
Yeah.
Now, I saw this interesting from Larry. This is quite interesting. Proctor fired. Buchanan disciplined, rehomed.
Demoted.
Disciplined, rehomed, retired. Disciplined, retired. Resigned, retired. On leave. Oh yeah, Miss what's her name? Devers.
Devers.
I don't
dare to say.
I'm Swedish.
I don't remember.
My Swedish accent makes words sound different. Desk duty, retired, and Chloe is missing.
We don't know where Chloe. Where's Chloe?
Where's Chloe? And the shit show got reassigned as well. Yeah, Mr. But of all the people I really want to, I mean, there's one who seems to be sliding around on a banana peel and getting away with a lot of things. Morrissey.
Yeah.
Well, if we have to honestly be having an argument about whether his burner phone text messages should be able to be made public, like what is even happening in this country? Like, that is like the most public thing that should be public that is ever public. Like,
I mean,
these are elected officials, and this is corruption. Like, of course, why would we even be having this conversation? Like, we shouldn't be able to see it. It's nuts.
I mean,
do you think it's because the judges are embarrassed? Do you think that's
Yes.
maybe they're protecting themselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
everybody goes along to get along with the system, and so nobody wants to be caught out. But yes, one bad step makes them all look bad.
Yeah, and what will happen if one of them opens Pandora's box?
Mm-hmm.
What else is in that box?
True.
Yeah.
I mean,
decades.
Oh, you use Signal. That is so suspicious. And the counter argument should be the DA is using a burner phone.
Yeah, he's using the cheesy banana. What the? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean,
yeah, he needs to go down. It's funny because I feel like the pressure's on him. Like, he keeps getting booed. He's done a couple parades recently, and he's getting Turtleboy was right. Resign, Morrissey. You boo, boo, boo. So anytime he goes out, he's asking. Apparently, he's from Juna Perkins. She told us that he's still sticking as of May 1st. He's still sticking with Sandra Birchmore committed suicide angle. And he's asking around, apparently making calls about running for re-election. So he's like doing a temperature check with like his most loyal diehard supporters and seeing if they'll still stick with him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's gonna have a tough time there. Yeah.
It's how long is the public's memory going to be? You know, if he can
True.
count on,
That's
well,
it.
as long as I can, make it through the cycle, you know, the news cycle, people will forget, and that's what
Yeah,
he's
but
counting on.
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell him right now, the news cycle's not going away because
Yeah.
we're gonna cover this until August of 2026. Definitely. Like I am stuck on this
Yeah.
until he is out, or unless he wants to resign now, that would make it easier. That might speed things up.
yeah,
But
and then we
I
can
mean, we're not
support the
stopping. Locals
then we
aren't
can
stopping.
then we can support the candidate who says, "I'm going to make have an investigation about this."
Mhm.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I've
Yeah.
had Junior on. She said more and more recently, but a lot of people feel like she's not strong enough on Turtleboy, and I get what they're saying. She basically asked for his resignation recently in a video, which I thought was awesome. She also, like a week ago, said that if she was elected, that she would rehome the state police that were involved in the text chain. And then we find out Yuri has been reassigned. So I thought that was interesting too. Right after she says it, Yuri's
Apparently,
gone. So it's like
apparently
maybe
DeChico too. I'm now seeing something going around about
good.
DeChico
They should
also.
all be gone. Anyone on that
Yeah.
text chain. And I think I think Morrissey's looking at it and realizing, hey, my opponents are going to make this an issue if I don't get rid of these people.
Yeah,
So
but that in itself can be a liability, because who will be there to protect him if he gets rid of the people who protected him up until now?
true.
That,
Very true.
I don't mind. I mean, go ahead, reassign people, get fresh blood in, and
Especially if your career's over too. If you're one of
yeah,
those state police and now you have, you're looking at no work. Maybe you're looking at discipline. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but maybe you start talking. Maybe you start dropping shit,
I mean,
I'd say
sooner or
Michael
later
Proctor.
somebody has to start talking,
Yeah.
because I mean, Proctor, now I know that the cop union is trying to get him his job back, and my reply to that is, I'm a union guy, no secret. The union is nothing without its credibility. The union is nothing without the central trade agreement. The union, if you have to choose between the central agreement, the credibility, and the member loses, because there's too many depending on the central agreement.
That's right.
There are too many dependent on the credibility. Now, when it comes to cop unions, they're a bit, let's say, special. I recently found out that a prior head of union, cop union in Massachusetts, went down for about a decade for having relations with a minor.
Patrick Rose, Boston Patrolmen's Association. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all knew about it too. I mean, this guy was been around for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it comes, I mean, it seems to be, I mean, you have the Sandra Birchmore case. I mean, that youth Friends of Cops, whatever that youth group was named, that seems to be more and more seem like a hunting ground.
Totally.
Because,
that's why I think you got to be careful with bringing police into schools anytime, because it's just like Little League or Catholic Church or even school teachers. Who gets attracted to those jobs? We know who, so I think they need to be extra careful, especially with the police.
And the way
level power over teachers.
And the way I keep forgetting his name because I really don't care about his name. The groomer, the rapist. You don't do that by chance. What he did,
or
that is a technique he has used before. And so anybody who was in those youth groups in and around Canton, in and around Boston, please come forward. Go to a lawyer specializing in that and tell your story.
Totally. I think some have. I think we may hear about some more.
There were several just in that documentary. I can't remember now. I'm spacing what it's called, but
and I think some of them have been witness intimidated too. So I think you're going to be hearing a lot more, actually, from what I hear, the sources.
Wow.
So But I think there are some people, like you said, that probably are out there and haven't come forward. And I love that advice, especially to all these witnesses and victims. Get an attorney, find an attorney, get some help. You know, there's plenty of people too in this community that will back you up and support you if you need advice and support. Just reach out to people and find an attorney. I love that. I think that's the best step for them.
I mean, the next step will always be believe, then verify, and all of that. But you need to tell your story to somebody who listens, to somebody who has your back, and that is an attorney. Because the moment you are the attorney's client, not talking, unless it becomes a case, your secret is safe with an attorney. We will go to the grave with secrets you cannot imagine.
Definitely.
And people wonder why we die alcoholics. No, I'm joking.
Some stories.
Yeah, so, but I mean, the more I look into it, and I'm not even looking into it, I'm just Google. Please don't, Swedish cops, if my Google searches are weird, because I do law, and I do this, and I cover cases like the Jodi Arias and the Young Thug and the everything and the Brian Walsh now. My Google searches are interesting.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. And no, I have precautions when it comes to, I have this program that overwrites and overwrites several times, deletes and overwrites. So, but that's no guarantee. Well, it depends on who's looking. If it's fanning or
yeah,
it's a 50-50 chance if it's actually there, or if it's just, it was another tab.
Do they want it to be there or not is really all
do
that
they
matters.
want it to be there? Yeah. Pamela, I will not describe it, and I urge you to not Google it.
No.
Yeah, that's one that you don't want to Google.
What is the weirdest Google search you've done? Oh God. The one, anything I can discuss? Oh, well, you have this new European Union thing that is called chat control, where AI is supposed to rummage through social media messages in search of illicit minor content, and it's about between 5 and 10% of the hits are actual things. The rest are false positives. So I Googled a lot around that, and sometimes you find what you're searching for. Sometimes you find stuff you definitely didn't want to find. Let's just say that. Darknet is not a good place. Just the downer has 6 charges over 27 years. Yeah.
That was like this week. Yeah. It's another one, and it didn't get it did got a little bit of headlines, but I'm interested to hear more about that one. That one's crazy too.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way for me to have that content without being shadow banned. So, and probably it will be some Rumble exclusive of sorts. Because,
isn't it weird about that stuff? Sometimes you get through, and sometimes you don't. Like I did a show yesterday, and I thought I was definitely getting the whack. Nothing. Just I don't know. It's like the AI. Sometimes it picks it up. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I spent about, let's see here, did legal snark react to Buchanan and to Fanning and to the others in the Brian Walsh hearing. I said words, and a lot of them, and very often, somehow, okay, greenlit. I'm not asking for a new review. My audience learned new curse words. Let's just say that. Sometimes it's worth it just to get. Sometimes, sometimes you discover that one video you made in April screws you over for the next month.
YouTube game.
Now, let's see. What will? And August 13th, another month. Now they have to produce. I assume they will go directly up to that date and then throw in a motion to, because even though he said, "Oh, I won't ask for another week. I won't even ask for another day." Yes, you will.
Yeah, you will. We know.
You will.
Duh.
That is over and over again. I mean, it was interesting today. He said he dumped 5,000 to 6,000 pages on Bradle. I'm wondering if they provided actually what they're trying to look for. Finally, like, what was in that 5,000 to 6,000 that they dumped? That's a lot of pages, I would think.
That's
Do you
quite
think
a
that's
few
a lot,
pages.
Andrea? Yeah.
I'm guessing 5,000 pages of text messages. That would be interesting. We would have content for months if that is so. But I mean, it's so strange. It is a witness intimidation case. Well, 3 of them. And I'm trying to remember. Last time I heard something about 6,000 pages or more. I mean, I think that the Zachariah Anderson case was in that region.
Yeah, homicides. You're talking homicides.
I'm talking homicides now.
You don't see 6,000 pages of discovery for your random, smash and grab, or your random, pushed over the security guard at Walmart. The things that are normally considered relatively low level, like witness intimidation, is normally considered pretty low level.
Yeah. And the Mosley case I covered a few weeks ago, it was a homicide case. It was a 3-day trial and a 2-hour jury deliberations. And it was in Fulton County by Mr. Abate, which was involved in the Young Thug trial. He can do a clean trial with actual evidence. How about that? And then the entertainment was the defendant who took the stand and said, who blamed the victim and said, "Well, I had a 50,000 bounty on me, and he tried to collect it." Man, you collect feces at a chicken factory. You do not have a $50,000 bounty on your head. That was interesting. But it's a 3-day trial, and that's normal. That's, if you have the evidence, you don't need 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Longest OUI ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's so many cases that we wish that everybody, now when the Karen Reed case is over, we should take a look at this and take a look at that. There are so many cases. I wish more could go back in time and look at the Zachariah Anderson trial 2 years ago. The Rick Allen, transcripts on the Rick Allen. She's done now.
Yeah, well, they're filed at least. There's some apparently like weird process with it gets filed in the trial court, but then somebody has to do something to send it up to the I don't know, send it up to the Court of Appeals. Sounds like there's some messy stuff going on, but at least there is some kind of prospect of something being filed and being available soon.
Yeah, and we did the fundraiser for that, so the money is there. So the moment when, the appellate attorneys have their $5 a page thing or something of the sort.
Yeah.
And then we will pay $1 a page. And
it's just cheaper for the public. That's interesting.
Well, as long as you wait for the official one. It's basically whoever buys it first pays the most for it, and then anybody else that buys it after the fact. So if they're going to appeal, then you just wait because they'll have to pay for it. But if there's not going to be an appeal, like in Karen Reed's case, it's kind of out there who's going to order the sidebar transcripts because they need to order them for appeal. You're going to be paying the full price.
How much do you think it would be?
Thousands.
How much?
Thousands.
Oh,
I mean, if
I
they
bet
would
we could
even
fundraise it.
So
Easy.
first question
I know.
would be, would they even like separate out the sidebars and just transcribe those, or would you have to transcribe the entire trial?
Everything.
The entire trial, if they had to do that with 30 some days, I mean $25,000, maybe I could see.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Zachariah Anderson trial was 21 days with some breaks and pauses. That I think that was 11,000. And it's expensive for something that should be free. In my
It should be
opinion.
free. Hello, this is a public service. This is our government working. All of this should be free. They're like this whole idea, this whole system that we're supposed to know what the laws are. We're charged with knowledge of the law, ignorance of the laws, no defense, all of that type of stuff. And then, but you have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually be able to know what the law is, because nobody can get to it. It's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah. And they say, but somebody has to transcribe it. They are already getting paid.
Yeah.
The clerk of courts is already paid.
What a racket.
Yeah.
Money-making machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Something has to pay for the cappuccino machine and the gumball machine. And no, that's speeding tickets. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's a CDL licenses. You get everything. You get every drink you want, every snack you want over at the CDL State Police Barracks there.
And if you don't get enough, there's always civil forfeiture.
Right. That's right. That's right. If you got money, they come.
There's a car auction, cash only. Let's bring cash. Oh, hello, Mr. Officer. Lobby your legislator. Yeah. One big not lobbyist is Steve Lado, who does a lot around civil forfeiture. And I think Michigan is about to turn around when it comes to civil forfeiture.
No kidding.
So hopefully. Problem we have here in Sweden is that we just got civil forfeiture.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's brand new. It's a new toy, a fun new toy to play with over there.
How much can we get out of this?
Yeah, and we have a few rappers here that got everything confiscated, and then it went off to auction. Everything was fake.
Everything was fake.
It was so funny. It was so
fake
funny.
jewels. Yeah.
Fake jewels.
Usually it's either
watches.
fake or rented. Or rented.
So, but that also got them another charge.
Really?
Because you're not the fake Rolex. Actually, having one is a crime here.
Oh my God! Come on.
Yeah, Sweden is bureaucracy, socialistic bureaucracy, and now we can't insult our civil servants.
So, okay, I'm not any kind of an expert on the European Convention on Human Rights, but isn't that like sort of a conflict?
It is. Problem is that our Supreme Court doesn't have the authority to change or remove laws, only interpret. You have to go a step above, which is the EU court. They can advise, they can fine, hefty fines, but they still can't remove laws.
They can't enforce it. They can't make you do it differently.
They can't make you do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For instance, we have the data redemption law or directive that was repealed in 2014. 11 years later, Sweden is still doing data redemption. So yeah.
Interesting.
Folks, I'm saying this
a whole
over
different
and over.
style of ignoring international law compared to what we do in the US.
Yeah, I mean, folks, you need to protect your constitution, your Bill of Rights, the amendments, because if you don't, they're gone. And all of a sudden you have like the anti-free speech laws, as in Sweden. You have the things, the chat control directive that will allow an AI to go through your social media messaging. You will have like the German government proposed to the European Union that yes, we are all for encryption as long as the government has a backdoor.
Backdoor, yeah, as long as we get a backdoor.
Yeah, because backdoors has never been exploited in the history of computers.
It never would be. Who would do that?
Who would do that? Why don't you trust this lowest bidder who is in charge of security?
Yeah.
They're finding like the cartels are using backdoors now. That was like the latest story I've seen, that they're using all these backdoors. Yeah, down in like, I don't know if it's Mexico or Colombia, but that's become a thing that they have access to it.
Hey, Glarer raid.
It's crazy.
Hey. I missed that on the. Yeah, thank you, Glarer. You have the link. Other people also have the link, but I won't say the names because one has is in a place with not so good internet. Another one, I don't know if they are still streaming. Let me share.
Speaking of like all the cases around and everything, any of you guys catch Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. getting deported? Like what on earth?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys
I did
catch
see
that?
Yeah, I did. He's the son of a boxer, right?
Yeah, he's the son of legendary Julio Cesar Chavez. Who's like one of the great, all-time Mexican boxing champions, and the son's always been kind of this embarrassment. But they've both had long-standing links to the Sinaloa cartel. And the only reason I'm really interested in this case is because I'm like, well, why they fought in did they fight in Vegas or did they fight in New York? I don't think, but like he came into the country and they fought. Like, why did you give him a work visa to come in and fight?
They waited.
You're going to grab him on the way out and
they
say
waited. They let him fight.
Yeah, they waited. I seriously think they expected him. He was going to get paid his fight purse in cash and cocaine, and then they could do the forfeiture.
And then I read this case about this Canadian woman who has lived in the United States since age 10. So she's lived here for 45 years, and now she's in custody. And her husband says, just put her on a plane to Canada. No, custody. Oh,
I hate it. I don't know why they're doing that. I hate it. I hate it all. Especially like someone's been here since they're age 10. Like how can you call them illegal as a child? Come on. I don't know. I feel
hello, Glarer, and welcome to the channel. Your first time here.
How's it going? Yeah, first time here. Yeah, thanks for having me. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Mike.
Hey, how you doing? Well,
doing well.
Yeah. We are just talking around everything.
I see that.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that last subject with a 10-foot pole, though.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said much.
No.
Yeah. What do you think about Turtleboy today? Let's get. What do you think about the Turtleboy hearing? That was amazing today. I thought,
dude, it was dope to hear Betterow argue, bro. Yeah. Like the mighty Mark Betterow was on fire. Like, and I think the judge just loves him, and he's over Cosgrove. Like, I mean, it's not that he wasn't taking it seriously. He was just in good spirits, and and I think that's what Jess Machado meant. That, do you think he's not taking it seriously? Meaning, like, do you not think that do you think that he thinks this is a joke? You know what I mean?
This isn't a big deal. Yeah.
Right. But of course, Bradel was like, no, he's absolutely taking it seriously. But yeah, he's definitely taking the case seriously, and he's, giving Cosgrove a lot of grace. that I don't think he should be having, but you know.
Yeah, I thought it was wild when they brought up the affidavit today, and he and how Kate Peters docks that woman by posting that shit on her door, and then he says, "Well, everyone already know who she was," which is such a lie. Like I talked to that woman, and we all saw what happened. Just
we totally all saw what happened, and it was great that Bettero was like, "Hold on,
yeah, exactly.
you actually doxed her, dude.
Yes,
Like, you
yeah.
doxed her." So, yeah, this case is the craziest. And the thing is, man, like, I'm so glad that everyone's covering it because it's so important. Like, it really does not matter, like, which side you lean politically at all. Like, your freedom of speech is at stake here. Like, this could absolutely set a very dangerous precedent. This
Absolutely.
this law that's being weaponized against Aiden is absolutely unconstitutional. And everyone needs to be talking about this.
Yeah.
And
I think it's so important what you're saying. Like you got to take it out of this political lens because it's not at all. All you got to think about is how would I like the world if I took this power that's being exercised and gave it to my political enemies? Would I be okay with that? Would that be a good system that we'd all love? So,
great point.
You know, do you want it weaponized against you? That's what you open up when you permit this type of thing as a general principle.
Absolutely.
And you stop any reporter from exposing police corruption or prosecutor corruption, because now we can't cover it, because if we cover it, they're going to use it against us, just like they did to Aiden. I mean, that's the most awful thing about this, is that the law enforcement that are throwing these charges at him are the ones he criticized. So left, right, center, it doesn't matter. If you want to expose corruption, it can't be done with this law. It can't be done. There's we are silenced because we might be facing charges if we criticize these cops or DAs or anybody.
Or just ask hard questions.
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone with a YouTube channel should be supporting Aiden in the sense that, because if this case, his case, gets enough exposure, he could absolutely shift the public trust from mainstream media to independent media, independent journalism. And that's amazing. And that's a good thing for all of us, because the thing is the mainstream media has already destroyed their credibility with the public. They already lost the trust. It's there to be picked up now. It's there to be claimed. And if we all support Turtleboy, if we all support Aiden, again, doesn't matter what side you lean politically. It doesn't even matter if you like the guy. It's just, the bottom line here is that he is fighting for your free speech right now. He is the one taking it. He is the one that sat in jail for 2 months. And he did that in a sense so that we could say whatever we want up here.
Yeah. And I mean, this is something.
And we don't need a special credential to be able to say it too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but the original freedom of the press had nothing to do with journalists. It was literally the freedom of the printing press.
Yeah. The pamphleteers. It was like as much about the pamphleteers as anything else.
It's as American as it gets.
That's independent.
There was
all independent.
Right. There was no journalist school in 1805. I mean,
yeah, because during the time frame of the revolution, that's what that's why so many of the pamphleteers were having to publish pseudonymously and stuff like that, like the Federalist Papers and things like that. Because the king is coming after you. He's going to come. He's going to seize your press. He's going to shut you down. He's going to harass your family, like all the things that we're sort of seeing the 2025 version of today, when the government and the people who have the levers of power don't like what you're doing, don't like the questions that you're asking, don't like the information you're bringing to light. It's the same story that we heard.
Do you think that there would be a 4th of July? Do you think there would have been an American Revolution had they not printed these pamphlets and criticized the king? You know what I mean? Do you think that they would have been able to recruit as many.
I mean, that was the
soldiers,
philosophy.
militia,
Yeah, Thomas
that
Paine. You know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if Turtleboy wins this too, it sends a message to every law enforcement, every DA in the state, and they're all going to hear about it. So that's the other thing. It will discourage them. They'll be like, I don't want to, have another loss like the Turtleboy case. So
yeah,
we got to win this. It has to. Turtleboy has to be found not guilty or charges dismissed.
Because there are always cases where you see when police or politicians gets the opportunity, they will take it. And
That's right.
We have the Marion County, let's see here, the Marion County newspaper raid about 2 years ago, where they raided the newspaper and the home.
That is crazy.
For the same reason, because they got criticized. Because it's the same thing as Turtleboy. They didn't like the coverage.
Yeah, they didn't like the coverage. They didn't like that they wrote about the cops or the people in charge who owned half the Marion County. So they decided to raid the newspaper, raid the home, and a day later, the woman who, she was a fight. I haven't seen this in a while.
Your mother loves you. You love your mother. You're a asshole. Please, Chief.
Get him, lady.
Oh, God. Get out of my house. You're the truth. Get out. Stand outside. You can stand outside that door and still see him. I don't want you in my house. I don't want you. You do not take them. What?
Let him know.
What's he doing over there going through the papers?
Wow.
I'm not going to tell you.
This is what happens when cops think they have the power.
This is disgusting.
I don't care what they're doing. What are you doing? Those are personal papers. Those aren't papers, they're electronic devices.
I hope every single cop in that room gets a genital rash for that. Like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah. And the day after, she's gone. And now the police chief who ordered all of this, he was charged late last year. I don't know if it has led to anything. He was fired eventually, and people looked into him, and he was one of these. He was a part of what's the major city in Kansas? Well, a major city in Kansas.
Topeka?
I don't remember which one it was.
It's the only one I remember offhand.
Yeah. And he at that he was a sergeant or lieutenant of sorts, and then all of a sudden he was reviewing new options. And me, as doing labor and employment law, I kind of know what that means. That means he got the option. Resign voluntarily and seek new options, or you're fired.
Nick,
I mean that.
I gotta say, I love your accent. Where are you from?
Sweden.
Sweden. I love the Swedish accent. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but it was driving me crazy.
No worries. You should have.
We were just envying his long days earlier in the stream, like before the hearing got started. The sun comes up there at 4 a.m. It goes down at like 10 at night. This is my dream life. Like,
it's now 9:20 p.m. and the sun is still up.
Yeah.
Now, but whatever happened with that cop when they got the option, and all of a sudden, yay, we need a new police officer in Marion County. Let's have that person. And this event took place not even 6 months after he was appointed chief of police. And again, thin blue line. Why won't you just fire the bad apples? Put in the R's, out you go. I won't give you a best wishes. You don't.
And I know, but
here.
Nick, the answer is not the answer that you want. The problem is the union. The union, that's why. The union is why.
I know.
I mean, is anybody else getting like Catholic Church vibes from the MSP here?
Yes, that's what happens. That's exactly
Then
what
the Boston
happens. And with
police.
the games they
It's
play
fun.
with the post certification, where they'll just
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we'll shit can you, but we won't repeal your post certification, so
Yeah.
you can just go down the street and get a job, at whatever little local department is desperate and doesn't, care too much about what's lurking in your closet.
Right. The badge is what gives them the power to be corrupt.
That's right.
To abuse. So if they keep their badge, they're just going to be abusive with it somewhere else. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's why I am so like Mr. Pro Union, pro worker, but not for cops. Like some of the cops that I know get mad when I say this stuff, but I feel like that because they have, like Will said, they got a badge and now you get a union. It's like too much power. They have too much power.
I don't like it with government. I don't like it with government workers, period. Public officials. I don't like
I feel like
dynamic.
school teachers, it's okay because I feel like teachers get abused. I do. I used to be a teacher, so there you go.
I know,
But I get it. But for
have
police
to
officers, I
really
feel
think
like
about
can we just not allow unions for police?
Yeah.
I have to really think about that before I can form an opinion on that.
I know. It's a hard one.
Civil servants have
Mr.
bad
Union.
bosses too, and they need to be able to organize upwards.
Yeah.
Not
they
outwards.
have so much power. Like that's those police union heads have so much power. Like that Patrick Rose guy we talked about. I mean, they knew,
and
but
the
he had
problem
so
is
much power.
it creates its own institution. Like it's so different from just the pure principle of people should be able to organize and teachers should be able to get protections and things like that, to create the actual institution of the union and the structure and then how that works and how that perpetuates itself. It's kind of like the same thing you see in university administration, where it's like, yeah, everybody loves the mission of educating people, but how much of this, whatever the insane rate of tuition is now is going to pay for, a director of, I don't know,
Whatever.
whatever. There's so much excess and institutionalism that gets created with those systems, and that's a big part of the problem too, because then the core mission starts being secondary, and it's just how do we promote ourselves, advance our own interests, and so forth.
Truth. Even I used to be like a part of organizations like nonprofits and shit. The same thing. It's like you get so caught up in defending the organization more than like the actual what the mission is. And that was like on a small level nonprofit, like people weren't making any money even. It still happens, like even on a lower level.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
that's why I like to go solo. It's easier that way. You just defend yourself.
We just got raided by Attorney Melanie Little, which actually has a link. So hopefully she can join us. Now, I also saw in the chat, thank you, because... Hey!
Hey!
Welcome!
What's up, Mel?
Cupcakes.
Hi! Oh, hi! I was waiting.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hey!
How are we today?
How are you doing? Welcome, first time on this channel. Welcome. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm very glad you are here.
Gee.
Now is a good time to remind all the new audience that look at the scrolling banner. That is Turtleboy's CashApp. I don't know if he probably found out by now, but we're trying to fill his phone with CashApp notifications.
I love it.
That will piss him off royally. No,
he'll be happy.
What's funny is
it's a great kind of bad day to have, right?
Right. What's funny is that might annoy him a little bit, even still.
And I saw that his Gives and Go is getting closer to his goal. We started here at $6,005 left. It is now $4,375 left. So it's getting closer. It's getting closer. And
jeez, Mel, you brought an army with you. Like
I had like 15,000 people watching, and I wasn't sure if you guys were still going to be on. So we read the Vanity Fair article.
In the last minute, like 4,000 people just showed up here.
I know. Because
what was the Vanity Fair article? Did I miss something? What was the Vanity Fair article?
Alan Jackson did an interview with Julie Miller, who wrote the articles about Karen, and I was able to find it because it's usually behind a paywall, so I had to dig a little. But it was a great interview with Julie Miller from Vanity Fair, who spent 3 days living with Karen Reed, remember? And it was, he said a lot of the same kind of stuff that he said in the Turtleboy interview on Saturday, which I thought was amazing. But he also said that he watched A Few Good Men like 1 million times during the first trial because he loves that movie so much, and it like inspired him to do those stellar cross examinations during the first trial. So that was a fun fact.
I had the first time I met Alan Jackson. That's really funny that you brought that up because he like this was like within 5 minutes of meeting, I had to ask him, and I was like, "Why do you think?" And this was after the first trial, long before the second trial, right? So I was like, I had to ask him. I was like, "Why do you think Judge Beverly Cannoni was so biased towards the Commonwealth?" And I could say this now because he kind of said the same thing on Turtle Boys, but he was like, "You know what? She didn't like that I'm this Hollywood lawyer from California, and I'm basically fighting this whole thing, and I'm very, the way I am, and she just, and it was kind of like this." And then he quoted, this is where we had a moment. It was really cool. He's like, "Do you remember that scene in Few Good Men where Nicholson tells Tom Cruise, I want you to stand there in your faggoty white uniform and extend me some fucking courtesy," right? So like, and we both like said it at the same time, like we both. I was like, yeah. He was like, "That's exactly how she looks at me, pretty much."
Yeah,
and I was
that
like,
makes
wow.
sense. Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
Now,
He even
by the way, I have officially a new record of viewers on my channel.
Great.
Thank you for bringing everybody here.
Yeah,
like and subscribe.
Will you tell everyone a little bit about you, Nick? Because there might be a lot of people who haven't watched your channel before and don't, know who you are. So give them a little, maybe a little intro. I'm sure everybody knows everybody else on here, but
yeah, I mean, you might have seen me in Melanie's chat on occasion. Hello, everybody. I'm Nick. I'm your favorite Viking lawyer. I am over the pond in Sweden, where I do labor and employment law, and I've been doing that for over 30 years. Fuck, I'm old. But
you help workers. I love it.
About 2.5 years ago, I saw everything that happened in the then Depp v. Heard trial and all the people, and I got to know Jeff, Legal Vices, and then I started my channel. And 2.5 years later, I'm still here, which somebody might put into question, because I spent almost 2 full years covering the Young Thug trial.
YSL. I was going to say he's our YSL guy. He put in the hours on that case.
From gavel to gavel, from pre-trial to jury selection to all the, excuse my language, all the fuckery. All the. There's a reason I made this mug.
Oh, that's a good one.
And so, yeah, everything around that. And now we are almost at the end. It's one person left. It's Mongtunk, who is in jail for bogus reasons. And so
that
that
case is still going on?
Yeah. Well, he was a witness who got not a perjury charge, but he violated the conditions of his parole by making claims in court that wasn't according to the acknowledgement he did when he got his plea deal. And then we found out that that plea deal was read to court. Then it was amended. It was never read to court after the amending. So, yeah, and Happily Angry Lawyer is doing many things on that thing. So he has all the action regarding that. But yeah, we almost had a YSL trial part 2, but then everybody pled out.
Yeah.
So it was
not a single murder, though, right? How many murders were they trying to pin on this gang?
There were 2 murders, and the prosecution alleged that at least 7 people were the main person who murdered those 2. and which interesting in itself. But in the end, nobody was convicted of murder, and the people who went to jury acquitted. So it was in total a 3-year case at the cost of somewhere between 15 and 20 million. And all they got was probation.
Yeah. It's very competitive with Karen Reed for like wasted assets that lead to convictions for essentially nothing.
Yeah. At the same time in Fulton County, there are still close to 3,000 SA kits untested.
Wow.
Massachusetts.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got a huge backlog
because
too.
they don't have the money for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we're wasting money on stupid stuff. Yeah.
Fulton County is legendary.
Yeah. And
I
now
never
Fannie
even
Willis
thought
is
about
doing
that.
another
Fannie
RICO
Willis.
trial, and she still tries to do the now president RICO. She's still trying. And that is
Well,
because
this was supposed to be the warm up, wasn't it? This was like the big warm up RICO case to do the Trump RICO case.
Yeah, and it didn't go as well. Well, she tries to spin it off. Well, we got convictions. No, you got plea deals.
Yeah.
But it's still a conviction in the eyes of the law. And yeah. But as I affectionately say about District Attorney Fannie Willis, you lied in church. You lied in court. You lied in documents. And you still got reelected. She lied in church in a Martin Luther King sermon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's about as low as it gets.
Yeah.
Like that is a one-way ticket to the lake of fire right there.
I mean, and I have it all on my channel. It's in the Fulton County Fails playlist. All of it. It's unnerving. But so that's a bit. I let's just say when I get my contrary to Chloe, once I get my jaws into it, I won't let go. I won't let go.
Yeah.
So
you can see the corruption all the way from Sweden.
Yeah.
This is it just keeps going and going and going. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Norfolk County. I tell you what, this Brian Walsh case is going to be a mess.
Yeah,
it's going to be a mess, and it's all because of the arrogance and the way it's always been done by Buchanan and Fanning and Tully and Proctor.
He might walk.
The search warrant is a big problem. It's a big problem because they didn't have one. It was a consent search for communications only. For those of you who are following it.
You know what I mean? Like this sucks.
Video.
Yeah,
screw that up. It's going to blow up in
Did
the
you read to
face
your
of that.
audience the reason they are going for now? It was in well, I said it earlier, in plain view.
In plain view or inevitable discovery, one or the other. In plain view of the Celebrate extraction that they did on the entire phone.
Yeah, that they do on the entire phone, and then do absolutely nothing to like limit it, and then act like there's no way that they could possibly avoid seeing it.
And the same Commonwealth who tried to discredit Celebrite is going to rely on it now to convict Brian Walsh.
As they do 99% of the time.
Fascinating, right? Exactly. Celebrite. I mean, that's as soon as I heard she did that 2:27 a.m. search, and then I heard all this double talk as to how she didn't do it. I was like, no, bro. Like I've been covering cases for too long, and Celebrite comes up in a trial every time, and it knocks it out of the park. How many convictions I've seen based on Celebrite data? You know what I mean? Stop.
Yeah, but you in Fulton County, Fannie Willis, when they said, but we have Nathan Wade at your place at these times. No, that's not reliable.
Nancy came marching in with the messages with Nathan Wade's partner. That was the best. That was so fun. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Looks like we hit the goal for Turtleboy.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I think they're having problems with the CashApp. The CashApp is maybe down too.
Did he crash? Did you guys crash his CashApp?
I think so.
I love
That's what I saw.
I love it. That's dope.
There it is. Goal achieved.
Something else that Alan Jackson said in the interview on Vanity Fair, he said, his normal rate for trying both cases would be $10 million. That's how expensive it is to defend yourself against bogus charges. So imagine, I mean, I don't even know if 200,000 is going to be enough. So I'm going to say keep giving because everyone's constitutional rights are at issue here. It's not just Aiden's and it's not just Massachusetts. It's reporters and journalists everywhere. And we too are considered, I guess, journalists because we have our own media companies, each and every one of us right here, all 5 of us. So it's a thing, the Constitution, but the Massachusetts doesn't seem to want to recognize it. And it should horrify you and it should outrage you. And there's no journalistic privilege or shield in Massachusetts either, which is another wild thing to me. Because in Massachusetts, I mean, in New York, you know, nobody gives up their sources here. In Massachusetts, you know, no shield. Nothing's privileged.
I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that until this case. I thought that was, I mean, in my mind, this has to apply to the entirety of the United States. It has to. Nope.
Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, for fuck's sake.
Mel, what did you think of Bettero today?
Oh, first of all, all 3 of them coordinated their outfits. I mean, it was so great. Like Bettero and Bradle both had on like tan suits and the nice ties. And then Aiden's in the middle with a navy blue suit and a pink tie. And I thought Bettero was great. I think Judge Doolin had fun. He was like laughing, right? Yeah. We like Judge Doolin, don't we, Mike? Do we like Judge Doolin?
I like him. I like him.
You're local, right? So I think Judge Doolin's always been very good.
Cool. He seems better than the others.
I don't know if you guys got a video feed because I had only the Zoom feed, which was
we just had the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had audio too.
Because WBZ apparently had a camera in there, but you know what they do is they don't release it today. They release it another day.
Yep.
But I thought Bettero was great. I mean, why do we need to have all this stuff impounded still? Why are we protecting Proctor and Tully and Mello just because they're going to be embarrassed? The Karen Reed case is over now. You got to unimpound this stuff. Everybody needs to see it. You know, and Cosgrove getting another 3 weeks to do the discovery he was supposed to turn over
and in about 20 days he will file a motion for continuance. I mean, I need more time. I didn't know it at the time. I'm sorry. I said I will not ask for another day, but he will. He will.
Why wouldn't he? If speedy trial isn't a thing in Massachusetts, why limit yourself? You know.
They keep getting away with it, so they just keep doing it. What you allow continues.
Keep giving him the time, he's going to keep taking it.
And they want Mello to come in and testify as a fact witness, which is great. And we know that because Bettero's been talking about that for a long time. Like in Karen Reed's case, he wanted Lally on the stand. You know, he's like, we need Lally in here. We need McLaughlin in here. They need to get up on the stand and explain where this rehomed video came from all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in one of the first
involved in the investigation and have their fingers involved in the investigation and where the evidence is going and all that, then they need to be prepared to answer for that.
Nope.
Yeah. He brought all this stuff in one of the first letteros.
Yes. He's good at writing those letters.
I was like, dude, this is crazy because, like, I mean, Mark's not going to say that unless he can prove it. You know what I mean?
Yes, receipts.
Right. So
it comes with receipts.
This trial is going to be wild. Like, I've never seen the prosecutor. I've never seen the prosecutor get called as a witness. That's insane. Like, it's wild.
Well, Carrie Morrissey put herself on the stand in the Alec trial. Remember, she put herself on the stand,
what
and I was like,
goal that was. What a nightmare.
And Fonnie Willis too. She marched right in and got on the stand too. She was like, I'm getting on the stand. I got in her pink dress. Remember her marching right in there and getting on the stand. Fonnie Willis. So that was a great day too.
Carrie Morrissey. The judge is even trying to tell her, you don't have to do this. Nobody's making. No, I want to.
Let me get my dress on backwards and take the stand.
That's right.
She has a habit of never mind. Now, let's see here. Tom CPU has had a bit closer look at what was said on the court stairs. So let's hope.
Yeah, Resistance to Silence did too. Had a real good video.
Let's see here.
Oh, that's where I saw the outfits. That I was commenting on the outfits.
You want any pictures? Let me know. You're immediate.
Could you see Marty? No, I'm supposed to school over there.
She can't. I didn't know I could. I'll see if I can do it.
You know, you gotta maybe ask them.
Attorney.
I know they had a.
Oh, look, it's
Yeah, it looks interesting. 5,000 pages. So we'll have it worked out for us, and I think we'll probably move the needle pretty well.
5,000 pages.
Looking forward to looking at it.
I may have missed it. So,
Hey, Jess.
hi, Attorney. How are you? Can you talk a little bit about removing Attorney Mello from this case? Have you spoken to him? Is it something he's not willing to do? He stated that he's not going to remove himself. How's that going?
We haven't spoken with them. I think you know, it's been papered throughout the case. We filed all sorts of motions. We just want to be heard on it. There's all sorts of issues with it, and you know, we're just going to fall back on the papers that we filed on it. We're just at this point, we're just trying to get a hearing so we can, you know, make our arguments that we've laid out.
Have you ever seen a case where you've had an attorney that started off, that left the case and is now a key witness in the case? Obviously, based on communications with Lindsay and Kate, this is a very interesting situation.
It's unprecedented for me. I've never had a case where a prosecutor got involved with the witnesses and then became somebody that was going to have to be potentially testifying as a potential impeachment witness or a fact witness, getting calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, while my client is in the house. It is unprecedented.
Right. What do you make of the judge's kind of jovial, laid back vibe today? He seemed in a great mood. He laughed a lot. Can we interpret that as him not taking this seriously? How should we interpret this?
No. Judge Doolin is the best. I mean, you don't get any better than him. He's been around. He's walked the walk. He was in the DA's office. He's been a defense lawyer forever. He's terrific. I mean, he's so.
I wonder what happens now.
Yeah.
Hey. I noticed you took part in the bench hearing. Conferences. How'd that go for you?
Karen can do it. Why can't I?
Yeah. Was it worthwhile?
Yeah. Find out interesting stuff that you don't know is happening.
You can't talk about them.
Yeah, you can't talk about them, but you know, apparently you're out there, so why not?
So how do you think it went? Are you comfortable with everything?
Oh yeah, it went great. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff out there. I mean, the big thing is there's all this discovery that's compounded, and we've had it for months and months and months, and we can't talk about it. There's no reason not to talk about it. It's in the public interest. It's outrageous, and there's just this cloud of secrecy that exists in Norfolk County where they think they can operate in the dark and do whatever they want, and no one else gets to know except them. And that's just not how the United States of America works. It's not how freedom works. So I think it was a good day. I think Judge Doolin seemed pretty receptive to it. So yeah.
Jess mentioned that she said it's kind of jovial at times, that those sidebars. In fact, I was glad to see you were up there because maybe I thought it would be less yucking it up with the good old boys. But I know how it works. You got the judge, he knows the attorneys, they're together on a lot of different stuff. But for you sitting there kind of monitoring it, feeling he took it as seriously as he should.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't just talk about what was discussed up there, but it was interesting.
Aiden, how do you feel about Attorney Mello possibly becoming a witness in this case? He was originally the prosecutor, and now we're looking to have him moved over to be a witness. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the integrity of this initial investigation in case, knowing that he may now be a critical part of testimony in regards to these witnesses?
Well, it's undeniable that he is a witness. He acted unprofessionally, in my opinion. He instead of sending these people to the police, he acted as their own personal police, and he became a witness. And he's definitely a witness. So.
It looked like the court was looking for his name in terms of being attorney of record still. So the court looking for, is Mello an attorney of record in this case still?
Yes. Yeah, he's still on all the emails.
That's ridiculous. I mean, why is it?
You'd have to ask him.
Inertia.
And,
he's still cutting a check out of it.
You'd have to ask him.
Mr. Grado, how was the day for you? Day was fine. Just as far as the Mello situation, there are issues, obviously, but the bottom line is never in 26 years have I ever seen a situation where an alleged victim of a crime calls a prosecutor in the middle of the night or while the crime is happening instead of 911 or the police. Once that happened, he made himself a witness, and that's just the way it is, and that has to be resolved. He's entitled to a fair trial. He's entitled to a trial without conflicts, and we're entitled to call someone who is a fact witness. And the fact that he happens to be the prosecutor, as regrettable as that is not a basis to get a pass. So we fully expect that we will have him removed from this case and potentially subpoena him and have him testify. And I think it will be favorable. We'll see.
How confident are you that you are going to receive all of the discovery that you've asked for in 3 weeks?
That was so bad.
We'll have to wait and see. I take Mr. Cosgrove at his word. He did jump on this late. Other people were involved beforehand, but we're entitled to what we're entitled to, and we're going to get it. And we'll continue to complain until we do. And again, that's the centerpiece of a fair trial. We're entitled to material. We want it.
Yeah.
And if you don't give it to us, then that's at your own peril.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on your statements regarding Michael Proctor? You said that he's out doing a press tour, that the expectation of privacy has kind of all gone out the window at this point. Can you talk a little bit more about
Michael Proctor is a disgraced, corrupt former state shooter.
Tell us how you really
feel. Terminated for his conduct in the case that Mr. Kearney covered. And that same agency is the one who arrested him. There are communications which are impounded. I'm not going to get into them, that I think would shed a lot of light onto that. Now, as far as them being impounded for witness privacy issues, this man went on a press tour a few weeks ago and emphatically denied doing anything. We don't agree with that. But if you're going to put out piecemeal coverage publicly, trials are supposed to be fair, open, public access. The public ought to see exactly what he was saying and who he was saying it to before he was arrested and why that was. It's just public access and part of a fair trial. That's all.
So who is the Commonwealth protecting at this point?
I'm not going to speculate on who they're protecting. They see the impoundment of virtually everything,
Each other,
which
themselves.
is the antithesis, again, of what a fair trial is. There should be a presumption of openness. There should be light, not darkness. But for whatever reason, in this county, in their high-profile cases, they seem to have a presumption of darkness. We don't accept that. Thank you, guys.
I love Bettero, dude.
I mean, what are the chances that they'll just drop the charges against Turtleboy rather than unimpound all of that very damning stuff? Hi,
I don't know. We
Bob
asked that about the second
What's up,
trial
Mom?
for Karen Reed, didn't we? I mean, what are the odds that but they have doubled down every single time.
Bob, thank you for the link today. I appreciate it, bud.
Of course, brother. Yeah, I was trying not to speak during the Zoom again. It was a big clusterfuck over on my channel. So. How y'all doing? I saw all my friends over here. I want to come pop in, support Aiden.
Yeah.
I think the odds
Popped
are
in right as I'm having to pop out, and so I'm just glad I get a chance to see your pretty face and say hi.
virtual hug. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I don't think they're dropping shit. I think they're gonna do what they do out there. They're gonna
yeah.
Good. Then let's see it. Unimpound all that. Bye, Andrea.
Bye,
Andrea.
Thanks for being
Unimpound all
here.
that stuff. Let's get to the text messages. Let's get to Michael Morrissey's private emails. Let's see who he's been texting with Jennifer McCabe.
I want
because
Morrissey's burner phone.
Let's see
I call dibs on Morrissey's burner phone.
text messages between Proctor and Jen McCabe. I mean, that's, I think, what he was alluding to during the hearing, right? He said a civilian witness and Proctor were texting, and she's also been on a press tour. So who else could it be? It's not Nicole Albert. It's got to be Jen McCabe. So
but it's the entire clan of McAlberts. I mean, more or less everybody now. Well,
You know what the beautiful thing about this is? You know what the beautiful, beautiful irony about this is? My favorite thing is that Aiden would not be able to prove corruption had he not been charged for trying to prove corruption.
Right.
The irony. The irony.
I absolutely love it, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. It's I mean, he took the big swing, man, and put himself in peril. And you know, he did it really for all of us. It's like anybody want to give him shit because he's making money off it. I don't give a shit about any of that. Because when you go into something like that and you're taking the big swings at guys with guns and badges and elected prosecutors, and you know that the power that they have in terms of putting yourself in danger, at risk, your freedom at risk, and you're willing to do it in the way that he did, man.
And he did 60 days in the pokey.
Yep. I'm a big supporter of his, and I think it's a very scary proposition. So I'm glad to see that we're all behind him as we need to be.
Yeah, I mean, the question was asked, who is going to be Turtleboy's Turtleboy? And the answer
We all
is
are.
you guys.
All of us.
And
Absolutely.
People showed up today. Look at all those people today. There was a big. It's very muggy, uncomfortable today outside. People just hanging out. A lot of people.
And I'm so glad it was him that got the interview with Alan Jackson.
Oh yeah, that was a great interview too. I thought
it's great.
He earned that tenfold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was
100%.
really glad to see that, and it was great too.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
There was a lot of information in that interview I did not expect. I mean, for instance, it seems like the interviews, none of it was unplanned, according to Jackson. That caught me off guard. Because I've been saying this for a good while. Shut the fuck up.
That's what most people were saying, but I wasn't sure about. And it was cool to hear Alan Jackson go, "No, I don't regret anything she said to the press or in an interview. None of it. That was an opportunity. It was a total other side of the coin situation where he's just like, no, he walked right into my trap, like because it just looked bad to the jury at the end of the day. You know,
I love Alan, but that's in retrospect comment.
No, and it was a ballsy move. It was a ballsy move. I am not going to argue with an attorney about that.
It's a reason why I do labor and employment law in salaried in Sweden, and he makes millions.
Murders.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a ballsy move. I mean, I hated the interviews. You know, it's like I see the concept of, and Karen had said it herself, that she kind of viewed that as her opportunity to be able to testify without having to testify in court. And it's just, you know, it wasn't so much when Karen was under the watchful eye of whether it was Alan or somebody from the team. It was more when she's just kind of popping off. She's in her condo getting dressed in the morning. Those are the parts that you worry about, because you know, if your client's out there, you know, saying things and you're not there to kind of say, hey, let's not go there. Let's keep that one. Let's keep that one to ourselves. But at the end of the day, it all worked out just fine. So, you know, it looks like brilliant strategy, and I'm here for it. Congrats.
Yeah, obviously it worked. I mean,
clearly. Well, that and the science really helped. The science was big. So
the witnesses.
I mean, it tracks though, because I got to be a fly on the wall during jury selection, and I heard Alan telling Karen, like, listen, when they mob you, like, I'm this close to telling them no more interviews. They're lucky that you're talking to them.
Yeah.
So like, when they mob you, don't be scared to be like, dude, back up. Like he has been so, like, he's absolutely protective of Karen. The whole team is.
Yeah.
Like it was, their hearts were so in this case, and it was just amazing to get to like see that. Amazing.
I mean, dude, from you know, and part of the thing that I love so much about, you know, and I'm sad that Karen had to go through all of that, but in terms of kind of shining a light on what I've been trying to do on my channel for, you know, my podcast for 3 years, which is try to really get the public to understand what the real role of the criminal defense attorney is in this country, as opposed to being bottom feeders trying to get guilty people off crimes and all that bullshit. You know, you really got to see it here, really up close and personal, in terms of just how much you do develop like a deep fondness for some of your clients. I mean, if you've got a client who you believe with every fiber of your being that person is innocent, and you take on that fight, I mean, it's all encompassing, man. It like, there is no separating it from your real life, because it is your real life. You know what I mean? So like in that way, I was so thankful that the world got to see that. And again, I'm sad that Karen had to go through it, but you know what? You know, they always say what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And I have zero doubt that Karen's coming out of the other side of this a stronger woman, and I'm dying to see what she's going to do. I'm dying to, I mean, she right now, I mean, like, there's
now,
no
if
question.
she wants to run in headfirst into anonymity, I'm all for it.
Right.
It will be basically impossible, but I'm all for it. If she wants to do a law degree, well, you have experience.
I hope she becomes the next Oprah, dude. Like, I hope that she just like cashes
her own
in
talk
everything
show.
she can. And I love Bob. Like you made an excellent point, because I can personally piggyback off of that point that you were just making, because I used to hate lawyers, hated them, right? Especially defense lawyers, right? And then this case came along, and then defense attorneys became my heroes. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Not all defense lawyers, but like Bob, you, for instance, every lawyer that's been talking about this case and how important it is, and validating me, a layman, and going, this is crazy. This can't be ethical. What I'm seeing Brennan do, what I saw Lally do, what I see Bev doing, and all of you guys, all of you attorneys, and Betero showing up on mics as much as he did, like, that was so helpful to people like me who just, now going into Aiden's case, knowing how important defense attorneys are, and knowing how important what you guys do is, makes this case now really important to follow.
Yeah.
Huge. I love that everyone's talking about it. I love that all these law tubers are now talking about it.
It's huge.
Everyone needs to.
And the Commonwealth is doing it a bit easy for us, because you have the Brian Walsh case coming up. You still have the Sandra Birchmore, Aiden. We will keep talking about Massachusetts for quite some time here. Now, folks, when I have these great numbers, I hate to do this, but it is past 10 p.m. and my alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. Because here at the farm, I don't have a rooster. So I need, but one thing I want to, now, if you want to speculate, I won't stop you. If you have knowledge, I won't stop you. But I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
What's under here? I have a guess.
Okay.
I think it is the renovations. Because we see in the video of them walking around in the plywood. Why would you devalue your house by tearing up a perfectly functioning floor and concrete, get whatever it is, if he poured new concrete or just gravel, and then add plywood on top? Why?
And then sell the house.
And then sell the house
for $50,000 under market value. Nick.
Exactly.
So that is incredibly
if he
shady.
was planning to sell his house, which apparently after the fact that was the claim, why devalue your house? And my theory is that there's some stains that are really, really hard to get rid of.
Right.
That is soaked, that floorboards, under floorboards, into concrete. You know who knows about those things? Cops.
Right.
Yeah.
Push back a little bit on it, just due to the fact that I've had I have a new porcelain floor in my basement because I've had flooding. So floods happen, and it could have been a flood. Could have been they had a flooring down. They took it up for a reason. It could be what you said, but it also could be water boiler. Like, I had 2 floods in here recently. This is where my studio is basically. One was a water boiler blowing, and the other was just flood, just like it happens to people. So you never know. I mean, I don't know. I'm hearing different things. I have no idea. No idea. But I'm just saying.
The picture is from what they would have asked of Albert.
Yeah,
Brian
I think always the pushback on your very logical and reasonable explanation of what it could be is timing, right? Timing's everything in this case. It was it was the timing of all the things that went down that made us all scratch our heads and say, wow.
Yeah. And also, why would you black out that part?
Well, we can guess what
we're
is.
talking about 2 different things. I mean, so the way that fell between, I think Olivia like really blew it up, and it was like there was the garage, right? Like the garage is above it. So like you can kind of figure it seems like it has something to do with the house, potentially, considering kind of where it falls in, where you can read what was above it and below it, right?
Yeah.
So
I have my speculations because
I have
first
no
we
idea.
have the Belgian Malinois thing. Oh, and then somebody found the license of Chloe as a German Shepherd mix, but I still haven't found what are they not allowed. Because
I mean, we can speculate.
Yeah, we can always speculate and know everything.
We all know that what that's blacked out there is the statement of the shoe being different.
Right, the black soul.
It's the black soul.
Right. Isn't it true, Mr. Albert, that you also have a black soul? Not just that sneaker, you have a black soul too, don't you?
Yeah, just
You're
different
evil, aren't
spelling.
you?
Just different spelling.
Right.
Or is it about Colin? I mean,
dying on the hill
on that shoe hill, baby.
I'm dying on the hill, Bob.
Yeah. But we will never find out, so it's fun to speculate. I've done a couple of videos of my speculation because sometimes it's fun to speculate because for the fun of it. And sometimes it's good to make fun of people. I humbly subject myself for ridicule when I'm wrong because I don't mind. If you tell, hey, you're wrong, this is it. Okay, if it's a valid theory, I'm all for it.
Right.
Constructive criticism, all for it. If you tell me to fuck off, I will tell you to fuck off back. I mean, that it really isn't that hard. I was born with a very, very limited amount of fucks to give. It hasn't improved by age.
The older you get, the less you have.
That's right.
I give none now. Now I give none.
Diminishing returns, and that.
And I have so many people in the comments that, oh, you just look like this. Don't you think I know how I look?
I think you look like a Viking.
I think we're looking at ourselves.
I think you're fucking beautiful, Nick. I think you're fucking gorgeous, bro.
Me too, man.
David Unetti spent 100 hours prepping that cross of Brian Albert. He spent 100 hours prepping that cross, and he was so bummed when they didn't call him.
Yeah.
And you know how that feels? It's like, oh, you spent all this time prepping for something, and then it's like your little balloon is deflated, and you're like, oh, you're so ready. I mean, look, you just,
It's,
I thought we were mad about it. I mean, I wanted to see that so bad, especially you know, Matt McCabe up there again. There's so many people I want to see on the stage.
Yeah, all the usual suspects would have been glorious, man. See the whole thing. I mean, everybody knows I was thrilled with the way they tried the case. It was what I was begging for. I'm like, focus on the thing that walks her out of the fucking courtroom, man. It's like we all want to hear what potentially really happened, and we want them to try to figure it out, and we want Karen to be exonerated, and we want like fully in the sense that we can all say, fuck you, they did it, make the arrest, get John O'Keefe some real justice. But in terms of walking her out of that courtroom, man, they played it perfectly. They did exactly what they had to do to get their client a not guilty verdict. I salute the hell out of them for it, even though it certainly didn't make for as compelling TV as the first season, man. You know, the first season was like...
It was obvious after a while, too, that it was those witnesses were working. Like, I felt like I got turned. Like, I was like, what the hell are they doing? And then I'm watching the witnesses, and then I'm like, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Because it was just simple. It was exactly like you said. Just focus on what it was. Get her off. Just focus on those. It was the two cops and the two doctors, the two female doctors, phenomenal. It was just like,
I mean, when you have physics and medical science on your side, I mean, and the other side presents blue paint.
No. Will Judson Welcher ever work again? That is the burning question.
Oh, that is the question.
Shannon Bridges have a job.
There will always be work for a shady expert. There will always be work for a shady expert.
I mean, watching
Sadly.
La Posada own fucking Hank Brennan was like worth
so good.
That was like worth 3 Brian Higgins.
That was. That was like when I was like, okay, we got her. She was phenomenal.
It doesn't matter
doesn't
because
matter.
it
You
was.
want to ask me again? I'll say the same thing. She didn't hit him, so it doesn't matter. Keep asking. Keep asking.
Just oh man, it was so great. It was so great. I just adored her.
Yeah, I mean, but I must say my favorite for the absolute wrong reason is Devour.
Dever.
Dever. Yeah.
Dever.
Dever.
Yeah.
Devour. I don't.
Dever.
Now, apparently she's on leave now. Oh no.
Blame her.
Oh,
Stress.
that $50,000 pay raise you got?
Man.
Oh no, I
house
wonder
is
where that
coming
came
down.
from.
There's
But, I mean,
DeChico is now rehomed too.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, Chico and Yuri. Yuri
Yep.
was rehomed as well, and they're one by one. It's like a house of cards. It's coming crumbling
Is there
down.
Anybody left?
Does
Fanning?
anybody else feel
Fanning
like
already was reassigned, right?
Was
what
he?
about
I don't
where's
know.
Tully?
I thought he
Tully's
got
got
let
his
off.
hands in
he got rehomed a
everything.
long time ago? Tully got rehomed a long
Tully
time
did,
ago.
but I think Fanning
Yeah.
they actually gave like I think he's fine actually, which is weird. I think he's the only one.
Oh, here's the graphic. Let's see.
Does anybody
Fired.
else feel like? Does anybody else feel like Michael Morrissey is distancing himself from these
Totally.
cops?
Totally.
Oh,
That's what I was.
Because he's scared, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
but
think it's usually.
I hope so.
Juna Perkins said that she was going to rehome them all. She said that as a statement, and then a week later, people being rehomed.
Now,
I think it's
Mel-
because he didn't want it to be used against him in the campaigns.
Yeah, but also now he's getting rid of people who has a reason to protect him.
Right. Right.
Mel,
Like
I know you
backfire.
covered the Brian Walsh suppression hearings. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't want this fucking guy getting off. Okay, because Brian
Yeah,
Walsh
no
is
way.
not Karen Reed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, I didn't watch the hearings. I mean, I don't want these guys having fucked that thing up to where.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
There was an agreement in writing between Lynn Beland, who, by the way, also jumped ship. Lynn Beland was Michael Morrissey's right-hand person at the ADA.
Right.
She was an ADA. She and David Traub jumped ship at the same time. He was their PR guy. Remember when the letters were flying around between
that's
Morrissey,
right.
Lynn Beland, and Josh Levy? They all were
Right.
involved. She left. There was a written agreement between Lynn Beland and Brian Walsh's attorney that he was going to give his phone up on consent, but the only thing they could search was communications between December and the day of seizure, December 6th. I mean, between Christmas Day and January 6th. Communications. They did a full extraction of his cell phone. They got all those Google searches. They got all of his location data. And based on that, they went around to every place he was and collected video evidence of him at Home Depot with a cart,
Based
with a
off what
mops
they
in it and a
pulled off
hacksaw.
oh my God.
Because they went outside the scope of consent. Yuri Buchanan got on the stand and said, he was asked by Larry Tipton, who's an amazing defense attorney, is a public defender in Massachusetts. He tried the Penny McGee case. Buchanan, he asked Buchanan, did you have him sign a consent form when you took his phone and his iPad? He said, no. Why would I? There was an agreement in writing. But Buchanan misconstrued the agreement to think that he could take everything from the phone. Yeah. That's the subject of this suppression hearing. And, fruits of the poisonous tree and all.
Mm-hmm.
But the Google searches were then used by Proctor to get probable cause to search the house and so on and so on and so on.
I was hearing about the kid's iPad. Like I hadn't heard about this, like with the phone and the consent, limited consent. Yeah. Oh my God. That so if shit gets suppressed for you folks out there, you don't point your finger at the defense attorney that filed the motion protecting all of our rights. You point your finger at the cops. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody year after year after year on our that's who fucked up here. You don't point your finger at the defense attorney if, God forbid, and it sounds bleak to me based on what you just told me.
That's send you the papers. I have to send you guys both the papers you asked for them, and I don't have clean copies. I got to find clean copies.
We need the papers. The papers.
I'll give you the papers. But they've been doing this for decades, and they never have been caught, and they never thought they would get caught this time. Except Karen Reed exposed all of the corruption, and these guys have been doing it this way forever.
Turtleboy
what do we
did
need
too.
Consent for? Why do we need a warrant? He gave us his phone. We're just going to take whatever we want. But his attorney, although she's like a white collar attorney, like he should not have been represented by her at the time.
Yeah.
Got a consent agreement. And they just took whatever they wanted, and they all admitted to it on the stand. It's the same people, Garino, Connor Keefe. They're like, oh, and we got his location data. So from his location data, we went to where he was at Home Depot, and we got the surveillance video and all the stuff that was in the Google searches that we also got illegally, like the hacksaw. We saw him buying a hacksaw. And then because we had his location data, we went to the dumpster here, and then we found the hacksaw with a bone fragment on it.
Oh my God.
And Anna Walsh's Hermes watch and her
So
Prada
what
bag and her
Melanie's describing to you guys is literally
Tyvek
fruit of the poisonous tree. Because and just think of it like this in terms of trying to visualize it. If the roots are rotten, all of the fruit that blooms from that tree, and the root in this case being that search, that illegal search of his device, which led to everything else, it's all rotten.
It's all rotten now.
All poison.
And one of the final questions that was asked of Guarino, I think that was a bit separate hearing, but one of the questions he asked is, because they all play stupid, they all play this and that. Oh, we thought, of course we had consent. And then he was asked, so why did you stop?
Right.
Why did you stop to get a warrant if you already had consent for it?
Right. He stopped looking at the Google searches when he realized that they could be incriminating. Okay, but you weren't supposed to be looking at them in the first place.
Oh man.
The best thing on this is if everything gets thrown. If it gets thrown out, this is going to be finally when the governor of Massachusetts does something because people will.
You think
this will go crazy? I do. Like Karen Reed is different because there's a lot of people who are like, oh well, she was guilty, the cops are a little corrupt. But if a killer, because everybody's seen this, everybody knows he's guilty in the state. Like this will if he gets off because of this, that's when shit hits the fan for them politically and TV wise. Like it's just going to be nonstop. People are going to talk about this. This will piss everyone off, way beyond anything Karen Reed, like the general population of Massachusetts.
This is what should happen, but then if there is the slightest of remotest possibility to backdoor it in, somebody will try.
They're arguing inevitable discovery. We would have found it eventually anyway. But maybe not because of the retention policies of the video at Home Depot. If they didn't find it for 2 weeks, they wouldn't have found the video at Home Depot because it may have been overwritten, right? Like all that video overwrites itself. Inevitable discovery and plain view. It was in plain view because when we extracted...
Yeah, it only took him 2 hours to scroll down to those searches. I mean, that's not
plain view on a device? I've never heard that
Celebrite report. It was in plain view when we extracted the whole entire thing, when we were only supposed to extract text messages between Anna and Brian.
Wait a second. What?
Yeah, I'll send you the papers. You're gonna have a field day.
There's
this case was originally assigned to Kearney. Kearney had that case originally.
I knew that. Yeah.
And is it because it's all the same players? Proctor, Buchanan, Tully, Fanning. Is she the protector of all these people? Because she also had the Turk case until all those cases were pulled from her, except the Karen Reed retrial. I just find this so interesting because here in New York, we elect our judges. We've got criminal judges that we elect, and we've got civil judges, and we've got family court judges. Everybody sits in their spot, and they only hear a certain kind of case. Kearney is all over. She's got civil trials. She's got criminal trials.
I'm saying
Quincy, she's from Quincy, like Morrissey. They are definitely cooked. There's been some for another judge, there was a governor's council hearing, and who showed up? Morrissey and Judge Canone. Like they have a lot of people that they know in the political realm and in the courts. They know.
Oh, it's the epitome of good old boy bullshit. It's the epitome of and every law tuber disagreed with me except for Melanie here, based on what she's saying, because I've been saying she's got an agenda. I don't know what it is, but Canoni's got an agenda. She's driven by something here.
I'm going to throw another.
The common denominator is always Morrissey. The common denominator in all the corruption is always Morrissey. It always comes down to the Norfolk County DA. Always.
Politician, not a prosecutor.
I mean, usually with judges, they're trying to get up on the high bench, man. It's like I don't know if she's got her eyes set on trying to get up to the Supreme Judicial Court. I don't know, man. But that's usually what it is. I know you all weren't following. I know Nick was, but you guys weren't following Gull and that shit that was going on with Richard Allen. I was trying to figure out. I'm like, why the fuck is this woman staying on this case? From a strictly professional perspective, I'm like, why is she just so hell bent on staying on this case? And it was the same thing that we saw with Kearney when the fellas tried to have her removed because of her connections and it would seem to me to be bias or conflict at the very least, that she should have been bounced. And, and it was like kind of the same shit. And it was like, I found out that Gull had been trying to make her way up to the Supreme Court in Indiana, that she's had designs on it, because that's kind of like the natural progression of things, So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's because like they're all political beasts. They just are,
And the governor is the one that appoints that stuff. And, Morrissey is a big time Democrat. He's friends with the governor. So I think that makes total sense, Bob.
Yeah.
Let me throw this in there for you. Remember the mistrial that Judge Kearney had presided over before the Karen Reed trial?
Yeah.
Right. Emmanuel Lopes was the defendant, and it was regarding the killing of a police officer, Michael Chesna. There was a mistrial and then a conviction. There were allegations in that case too about Tully proctoring some evidence in that trial. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It came out during the Brian Walsh hearings because now Brian Walsh's attorneys are arguing, look, Tully did this during the Chesna trial with the electronics. Like, this is like decades long corruption. And also, if the judges are appointed, who do they owe favors to? Who got them that appointment? Because, now you got to play nice with the people that appointed you. So
that's a game
I don't
here.
know,
And
but
Morrissey's
it's the
been
same.
a political animal for like 35, 40 years. He never had a job. His first job was being elected.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Been on the
I don't
public
think the
dole
guy
for a
even worked
long time.
Yeah.
Bill Reed gave me a straight up rundown history lesson on Michael Morrissey, and I couldn't tell you one thing because there was so much information. But what I took out of that was A, Bill Reed knows his shit.
Oh yeah.
B, that Michael Morrissey is juiced, politically.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
like it's insane. Like every time he made a point, I was just like, "What?" And we were just hanging out in the lobby of the of the courthouse.
It's like the daily
Kennedy
back in Chicago. It's like the whole Daly family, starting with Old Man Daly back in the '60s, and then his that family was so powerful in the state of Illinois, but particularly in Chicago. It was like, we've got. Y'all know we're a pretty corrupt fucking state too. We've had 2 governors go to prison, man. So it's like we've got some people that do some serious corrupt shit. We had Gray Lord. That's where all the judges were taking kickbacks on cases to kick them, man. It's like, it's like people just don't understand that the corruption. Because look, man, money runs shit. Always follow the money. Always.
That's right.
Money will always lead you to the answer. And
Massachusetts, four of the last, I think, 5 speakers of the House gone to jail.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, we
what?
This is like, and this is the same group of people. It's like the Kennedys, the Bulgers, like Morrissey. Like, he's been around since the Kennedys. I have my girlfriend's father was a politician way back, and he was friends with all these people. Like, it's like, and he's been gone a long time. Like, Morrissey's the only one still kicking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God, that's crazy, dude.
So
what I had Mark on, and Mark was like kind of going through the Brennan fucking Bulger connection, and I was like, and like I was like, how did he end up on was he the guy? They were like, all right, we need just a giant dickhead to come in, and and I say that, I mean, like, truthfully, like, we just need a huge cocksucker to come in and flamethrow the defense on this case, and that's exactly who he was. But to find out what those connections were, man,
totally to the Bulgers.
Everybody check the private chat. Streamers, check the private chat. Nick's gotta go to bed.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta go.
No,
I could talk about the Bulgers all night. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would love to have you back on Friday on my Slightly Bust Friday show, and we can continue this, but with super chats and booze.
Yeah. I guess Turtleboy's going to be on Bob's show tonight.
Yeah,
Turtleboy?
yeah, he's coming
Okay.
on tonight, man. I'm excited about it.
At 6, I'm gonna be on Justice Surf TV.
All
if
right.
anybody's interested in that.
My
'Cause,
pals, Linda and
Mike,
Michael, they're great.
homies, love them.
They're awesome, man. I knew them from back in my law and crime day when they used to actually have talking heads over there. So I got to know them both. They're both I mean, Linda's a fucking badass, man. I
She's
mean,
married to Michael Baden, who's like a legend.
But her career has been,
and her too.
Dude, I hope their channel blows up, man. Like I really do.
They'll
Like,
do great. They'll do
dude,
great.
like who
I
knows
always give
more
them
about
love.
who knows more about high profile cases than Linda Baden, dude? Like she went up against Alan Jackson and won. Technically, like she defended Phil Spector, and Alan Jackson was the prosecutor.
Yep.
And Phil Spector got off.
Yep.
And so like, but she worked as a I forgot what she did, but she was on the defense team for Casey Anthony.
Yeah. She was like kind of on the periphery, but she was definitely there. She wasn't like Baez was the guy, but Linda. I mean, Linda's, and she's smart as a whip, man. You know, she just is, and she's fiery. She's all the things that I like to see in a defense attorney. So
I know, poor Nick. What time is your interview with Turtleboy Bob?
8:30 my time, so that's 9:30 y'all's time, except for Nick, of course.
We're on the East Coast,
yeah, you guys 9:30 for you guys Eastern, and come and hang. Should be good.
All right, and everyone, please pray for Texas. I am so heartbroken about
my God, it's so
all of the children, and there's something about the power of prayer. So please pray for Texas.
The other shoe is going to be dropping on that thing, like when how those kids were not. Oh my God. Just how those kids were not evacuated from.
I cannot talk about that right now. I want to save lives, and I want the children to be rescued, and it breaks my heart.
Me too. I'm with that.
Yeah. All right. But until Friday, when I hope I will send out links. If you can, you can. If you can't, I will drink by myself and my audience.
No. All right, well, we love you, Nick, and I personally appreciate you doing this for Aiden, and I think it's important, and I know that everybody in here right now is going to continue to shine the light on this case, because it's massively important in a massively different way. It just is.
Oh yeah.
Constitution. I love that everyone's talking about this. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like I'm all over it. Like and
now let's do the rounds here. Mike, what have you going on in the near future?
Sean, I'm trying to take it easy. Honestly, I got a lot. Like I've been feel like I've been on the treadmill, so I'm like not pushing myself as much. And right now I got nothing. We'll see what happens. But I've been doing the Grace Curley show on WRKO Howie Carr Radio Network on Fridays. I love doing that.
Love that.
So that's the only thing I really have planned right now. We'll see. But just follow us, Young Jerks. I do a lot of last minute stuff. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you everyone who supports us. I really appreciate it. It's been like the best 2 years. It's been an honor of my life to be supporting Karen Reed. And thank you, Nick, and thank you everyone on the panel, and thank you everyone for raising money for Turtleboy. That makes a lot of difference for us.
Indeed.
Thank you. Glarer, what have you going on?
Not much. I mean, I'm going to be like a bulldog with the Turtleboy case for sure. I've been following it since the first time he was charged. So like the first time, and it was just the timing of how that happened, like got me so interested, because I had just talked to Turtleboy for the first time, and then he got charged like 2 days later, and I was like, whoa. So I'm probably just going to do a deep dive into everything all over again, just to make sure people are still talking about it. And other than that, I got a Patreon where I destroy movies and criticize them that everyone loves that turns out to be bad movies. I just did Point Break with Mazza Media, and it was a blast. So, and other than that, I'm just going to be really, really involved in the Turtleboy case, and I'm going to be really involved in. I'm
a little salty. I haven't gotten the invite for one of the destruction pieces.
I've only done 3, and Mazza was my first guest, but we will do something. I will hold you to that, Bob.
All right, I'm there, man. I'm there.
You just committed.
I'm there.
Yeah. So, but
all right, Bob. Now, Bob, you have an interview in a few hours
tonight. Yeah, tonight Aiden's going to be on. As we all know, he had his status hearing. Is basically what that was today. So there was nothing of substance, but we're going to get into all of it. I want to get people to know Aiden as a human being, as opposed to, his character, as I like to say, that he plays when he gets on his show every night or when he goes on. And I think the people that may have prejudged him based on things that they've heard or read will probably have walk away with a different feeling about who he is as a guy. And I have a hell of a lot of respect for him. And he's got huge balls, which not many people on this planet can match. And so, yeah, that's tonight again. And then in terms of coverage, we're always looking for the case, man. We're always looking for the next case. I'm thrilled that I'm not covering Kohberger. Everybody's like, oh, YouTubers know the law.
I'm glad that's over too.
Yeah. The asshole pleading out. Jesus, no.
I was dreading that.
How
thing
dare
going
you?
on,
It's a
man.
whole other show.
How dare there be swift justice? How dare they?
The only good thing for me is that would have been mountain time, so it would have been the opposite. I wouldn't have had to get up the crack of dawn. But no, we're always looking for cases. Obviously, Richard Allen is always very much on my radar, and I'm hoping to get some of my friends that have been so very much involved with Karen Reed to take a peek at that case, because something stinks in Delphi.
I've said it so many times. We wish we had Judge Bev.
Yep.
That's how bad it was.
That's gospel.
We wish we had Judge Bev.
Did
Sleuthy make a spreadsheet for the Delphi case too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I pulled Sleuthy off of Kohberger about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I said, Sleuth, I'm like, you got to get off this fucking Kohberger thing. You're starting to spin on it. And I'm like, this is the case I think you should take a peek at. And then once Sleuthy got in, yeah, dude, it's epic. As you can imagine.
I'll probably do a deep dive in the Delphi thing too.
Dude, it's
unbelievable. I remember when it first happened.
It's unbelievable.
And I just haven't followed it since.
It's an unbelievable case. In a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, once the Frank's memo showed up, somebody pinged me on that, and Scandinavian actual Viking heritage instead of the diaper Nazis in Indiana. Yeah, it caught my attention.
Yeah, it's worth a look. It's worth a look. Let people come to their own conclusions on it.
Now, Melanie.
I'm doing it all. I'm diving into Brian Walls. We're keeping up with Turtleboy. We're getting into the Long Island serial killer, which I've been covering. That's my backyard. Body parts have been washing up here since, the 90s, where I took my kids. We're going into Lindsay Clancy. There's a million things to keep us busy outside of Kohberger. But I just want to say, if a guy would brutally murder 4 college students, why is he afraid of the death penalty? That makes no sense to me. Why he'd be afraid of a firing squad and plead guilty. But that's another conversation for another day. Thank you to Nick for hosting tonight.
Yes,
Bob,
sir.
maybe
Maybe
you can ask Turtleboy later if his CashApp blew up because of this lovely fundraiser that Nick organized on his behalf, because it was a surprise for him. And I kept it quiet.
It's pinned on the top of the chat, and you have it on the rolling banner. Blow up his CashApp. He should not be able to see who's calling because of the din 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 din.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
I love that. I will. I'll definitely ask him.
Now, for me, I'm going to do more about that infamous picture, the questions to Brian Albert, because I kind of like to speculate sometimes. And if people tell me to fuck off, fuck off you too. Also, I started, thanks to my viewers, the hyperbaric chamber explosion case up in Michigan, where a 5-year-old in a hyperbaric chamber, and due to flawed, not surveillance, but flawed service, neglect, a spark, and this 100% oxygen, pressurized spark, that kid burnt up from the inside out.
Oh my God.
So that is the CEO for the company, the service person, and 2 more in that company. And at first I thought, why all these people? It sounds like overcharging. And then you find out, the CEO wiped her laptop and tried to wipe the surveillance cameras. The service guy rolled back the numbers so he didn't have to call in a service guy from the manufacturer of the hyperbaric chamber, and he did it by himself. And much, much more. So that is, I already have one video up on it. It's only 2 hours. You can do it in an afternoon. But yeah, I'm looking into that. But other than that, Turtleboy, Brian Walsh, and however I can get away with it, all the PDF cops in damn Massachusetts, there are too many for a very long time. Sandra Birchmore. So that is what's going on here.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe to everybody. Next stream I will have super chats on, but this was a fundraiser. So next time, pay me.
Thank you.
Right on.
We
All
love
right.
you, Nick. Hey, and Nick, I definitely want a soundbite of you saying "go fuck themselves" because it's fucking like I just love your I love the way it sounds and
you can find any video or stream of me and it will probably be there.
it's good. It's good. I just love it. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy when you say it.
It does.
All right. Now, one thing that I love to do. Do you know about Suno, the AI songmaking app?
No.
Nah, it's very, especially for me, who I can't sing, I can't make music. But through Suno.com, I'm not. This is not an ad or anything. I just use it. But Sergeant Yuri Buchanan got transferred, and I asked AI to write a song, so I'm going to send you off with that one.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Good day.
Thanks.
Saw Yuri in the courtroom glow, swore on truth, but the lies still show. Evidence missing like a ghostly dance, now reassigned with a guilty glance. Oh, Sergeant, what did you do? Hide in shadows where the light breaks through, deleting secrets like the midnight tide. Now you're gone with no place to hide. The judge looked down with a heavy frown, side of Yuri's words spinning round and round. Tales of justice, but the truth got blurred, lost in the echo of the lies he stirred. Ooh, the walls are talking, footsteps silent, but the whispers walking. Side Yuri caught in twisted scheme, truth fell apart like a broken dream. Oh, Sergeant Yuri, what did you do? Hide in shadows where the light breaks through, deleting secrets like the midnight tide. Now you're gone with no place to hide. Now the badge feels heavy on his chest. Once a hero, now just second best. Reassigned to a place far away, but the past keeps calling every day.